Chapter 1841 Obtain the Secret of Enlightenment. Yi Tian put all his strength up for defense, even though it was too careful, it was better to be careful. And the old man with white beard is the same. The two came to the building and watched it. This is a building similar to a pyramid, very large, and the surface of the building has traces of a magic circle. This is not a natural building, it should be a building built by the Eternal Master. Yi Tian guessed. The white-bearded old man nodded in agreement, it was definitely built by the eternal controller that we can't imagine. Maybe it was to choose the inheritor. It would be great if we obtained the inheritance of such existence. 1. However, he is also very clear that it is very difficult to obtain the inheritance of such existence. The other party's requirements for the inheritor must be very high, after all, being able to come here is equivalent to a test. And if he hadn't used Yi Tian's power, he wouldn't be able to get here at all, so he felt that he had no hope of getting the inheritance here. On the other hand, Yi Tian is very likely to obtain the inheritance here. Of course, it's just speculation at the moment, maybe there's nothing here. Go in. Yi Tian walked into the building with the white-bearded old man. In an instant, Yi Tian couldn't perceive the existence of the white-bearded old man, the two should belong to two time spaces and could not perceive it. Yi Tian looked around and found himself in a dark void. Suddenly, a big character appeared in front of Yi Tian. The name is Enlightenment, but it is actually composed of countless rules of Tao, and contains countless mysteries and truths. Yi Tian comprehended for a while, and found that the more he comprehended, the more things he didn't understand, and the more things he forgot. I'm afraid this word is not weaker than the secret of swallowing, is it another secret technique of the same level as the secret of swallowing? Yi Tian guessed. Moreover, he felt that this secret technique and the secret of swallowing seemed to have a little similarity, maybe it was a secret technique created by the same existence. Enlightenment, enlightenment, enlightenment. Yi Tian is constantly comprehending here, and the years are passing by. In the dark, he felt that he only had at most 20 years of understanding and enlightenment, and if he could not realize it in 20 years, he would never be able to realize it. The other side. The white-bearded old man has a sad face, and he is also comprehending the word enlightenment. But the difference with Yi Tian is that he has been comprehending for a period of time, almost completely forgotten, the more comprehension, the more irritable. He is very clear that this is definitely a heaven-defying secret technique, and it is the biggest chance in his life, but if he can't grasp it, he won't get anything. The more he tried to understand it, the less he could do it. Before he knew it, a year passed, and he found nothing. There is no hope. Even if you comprehend 20 years of the river, it is impossible to comprehend this secret technique. I wonder if the Endless Lord has any hope of comprehending it. However, it is also difficult. The white-bearded old man secretly said. In the blink of an eye, several years passed, and the white-bearded old man gave up completely. He left the building and looked at other places, maybe he found something. And Yi Tian is still comprehending, and has gained a lot, there is still a great hope to understand this secret technique. Yi Tian has a feeling that this secret technique may be more precious to him than the secret of swallowing. Void area. The white-bearded old man sat and chatted with Yi Tian. Lord Endless, are you sure you can comprehend that secret technique? The white-bearded old man asked. Have, Yi Tian affirmed. At this time, the white-bearded old man showed an envious look. If he could also comprehend that secret technique, that would be great. After chatting for a while, the white-bearded old man said, after a while, I am ready to attack the realm of the Eternal Controller. Has it been decided yet? Yi Tian asked in surprise. The white-bearded old man nodded. Well, it has been decided. This time, I also obtained a few treasures in that treasure land that will help impact the Eternal Master. At least it can increase a little hope, and I have about 70% of my own. With the above confidence, if I don't dare to attack with a high degree of confidence, the longer the time passes, the more vigor I will grind out, and the hope of the impact may decline. Moreover, I also know my own situation, and it will be difficult to continue to improve. It's not because of this treasure, I'm afraid I've already rushed to it. However, I didn't wait in vain, at least it increased some opportunities. Then help you break through and succeed. Yi Tian said. In the blink of an eye, some years passed. At this time, Yi Tian has been comprehending the enlightenment word for 16 years. This day, Wuzi suddenly burst into light, turning into a ray of light and pouring into Yi Tian's body, turning into a secret technique. The secret of enlightenment. Yi Tian sensed some information from this secret technique. This secret technique is definitely the same as the secret of swallowing, belonging to a strong person, and the value of the secret of enlightenment is higher. The secret of enlightenment can enhance Yi Tian's comprehension. Once the secret of enlightenment is activated, he can quickly comprehend a path, and can also quickly create a time-space control technique. Even controlling one's own time-space supreme body, the secret of enlightenment can be of unimaginable help. With a control-level physical body, especially with the secret of enlightenment, in 10 days, there is a 100% hope that he will control 10% of the specialized body in a short period of time, condensing the supreme control body, and his strength will be raised to a terrifying level. Quote, "This chance is too great. Who is that great being, who can create such secret techniques as the secret of swallowing and the secret of enlightenment?" Yi Tian exclaimed secretly. He had already obtained the secret of enlightenment, so he did not stay here and went out directly. When the white-bearded old man saw Yi Tian's continuous smile, he knew that Yi Tian had made a breakthrough, and congratulated him. Congratulations to the Endless Lord for his inheritance. It was a fluke. Yi Tian smiled. Lord Endless, I have to ask you to take me out. Otherwise, if my avatar falls, I will have to delay for a long time to attack the Eternal Master. The white-bearded old man said. Yi Tian nodded. Half-step Eternal Controller or Peak Legendary Realm Lord to attack the Eternal Controller, must promise to ensure the integrity of the will, and they condense the avatar, is to divide the core of the will. If the avatar falls, the will needs to be restored core, it will take a long time. They are not able to copy the body like Yi Tian, a euro even if they fall, it doesn't matter. Come on, let me take you out. Yi Tian took the white-bearded old man out with ease. After another period of time, the several clones of the white-bearded old man all returned to the void area. He is ready to attack the Eternal Master. And Yi Tian also knew that the white-bearded old man was going to attack the Eternal Controller, so he came to Suyang Mountain to protect the white-bearded old man. However, there are very few people who really know that the white-bearded old man is going to attack the Eternal Master. Yi Tian counts as one, and Shan Lord counts as one purchase. Several Eternal Masters in the void area may also know. Suyang Mountain. The white-bearded old man opened the magic circle to prevent interference from the outside world. Immediately, he began to strike. Chapter 1842. The white-bearded old man becomes the Eternal Master. The white-bearded old man first took back the will cores of the other clones one by one. All the clones instantly turned into ashes, and all the power was attributed to the main body. Because even if the power of the clone is not allowed to return, once it hits the realm of the Eternal Master, other clones will be forcibly pulled into the process of impacting the Eternal Master. Once any one of the clones fails, the main body will also fall. Therefore, no one dared to let the clones attack the Eternal Master, and naturally they did everything to make the main body attack the Eternal Master. Moreover, after becoming the Eternal Controller, there is no way to refine the clone, only the incarnation. It is very difficult to attack the Eternal Controller. The complete integration of time and space is only a basic condition. If you want to become the Eternal Controller, you need to break free from the shackles of time and space and jump out of this category. In this way, the Eternal Master will have the ability to cross the timeline. Wow, the body of the white-bearded old man has entered the place where the long river of time and space meet. The Peak Legendary Lord or half-step Eternal Master in the void area must make a breakthrough here if he wants to attack the realm of the Eternal Master. Immediately, the origin of time and space came. In an instant, the white-bearded old man found that everything around him had changed. He seemed to be in a special space-time area, and then countless gray and white silk threads came through, piercing his body countless times. And his entire body was also imprisoned here, unable to break free of 920 at all. For such a situation, he naturally knew. These countless threads are the shackles of time and space, and he must cut these shackles before he can complete the breakthrough. And if there are countless causes and effects in the outside world, then these threads will become extremely tough. Therefore, before hitting the realm of the Eternal Master, it is best to cut off the causation, or weaken the causal, and the success rate of the breakthrough will be greater. With the efforts of the white-bearded old man, one silk thread was broken. At this time, it is necessary to test the background. The more Tao mastered, the stronger the will, the higher the control of the supreme legendary body, etc., can improve the success rate. These threads of space-time must be cut as soon as possible, otherwise the longer the time drags on, the stronger these threads will become, and it will be difficult to cut them off, and you will surely die. The white-bearded old man muttered. Time passed slowly, and the silk threads were cut off one by one, and the remaining silk threads became less and less. At this time, the white-bearded old man was about to break free, at least he could move. Break, break, break. The old man with white beard exerted his will in the later stage of the Eighth Order to the extreme, using the power of his will to cooperate with his own eternity and other forces CJFI, struggling to cut off the threads. Gradually, only 2 silk threads remained. These 2 silk threads represent the ultimate time and the ultimate space respectively. Only by cutting them can they be considered to be completely free from bondage and step into the realm of the Eternal Master. At this time, the white-bearded old man had exhausted most of his strength. He began to cut the thread of space, and as time passed, under repeated attacks, the thread of space was finally cut off, leaving only the thread of time. Cut off this line of time, and I can completely break through. It must be fast, otherwise the line of time will grow stronger and stronger, and it will be difficult to continue to cut it. The white-bearded old man mobilized his last strength to cut the line of time at all costs. The strength continued to be exhausted, but the white-bearded old man finally completed the breakthrough. Click. The line of time has been cut. In an instant, the energy of the long river of time and Konghai continued to pour into the old man with white beard, helping him to complete the final breakthrough. His supreme legendary body has continuously evolved into a space-time control body, and the power in the body has completely turned into an eternal control force, and even the will has completed a breakthrough, reaching the 8th order pinnacle, which is only one step away from the 9th order will. With the breakthrough of the white-bearded old man, the visions here came one after another, attracting the attention of many peak legend lords in the void area. After all, the long river of time and the sea of A empty are so surging, they can't even notice it. Whoa whoa whoa, one after another, the lords of the peak legend realm came to Suyong Mountain. Lord Jia Li, Lord Tiank, Lord Yonghe, and 5 elements old monster, the 4th level peak legendary lords all came here. Not only that, but there are also several 5th level peak legend lords who have been hiding for countless years in the void area, and they also came here. With their appearance, the other peak legend realm lords knew that there were so many powerhouses in the void area. I have seen the Endless Lord. I have seen the Endless Lord. I have seen the Endless Lord. The lords of the peak legend realm were extremely respectful and polite to Yi Tian. Now that they all know Yi Tian's strength, they naturally dare not be rude. Lord Endless, what happened to Mount Suyong? The border lord asked curiously. The white-bearded old man is attacking the realm of the eternal controller. Looking at this vision, I am afraid that the breakthrough has been successful. Yi Tian said. What? The white-bearded old man hits the realm of the eternal master. If the white-bearded old man succeeds in the attack, then we will have another eternal controller in the void area. Many peak legends Jingbei envy, they also want to be the eternal masters, but they even have the resources to attack the eternal masters, and even if they have, they don't dare to attack. After all, if you fail, you will fail. Time passed slowly, and finally the vision disappeared completely, and the white-bearded old man also completed the breakthrough. Although the white-bearded old man has not completely stabilized his realm, he still appeared. At this time, the aura of the white-bearded old man could not be restrained. The powerful aura of the eternal controller made the time and space freeze, and the peak legend lords were unable to move, as if they were imprisoned. Congratulations to the white-bearded master. Yi Tian congratulated. The white-bearded old man smiled slightly. It's better to call me the white-bearded old man. I have used this name for countless years, and I have become accustomed to it. Congratulations to the white-bearded old man. Yi Tian said again. The white-bearded old man did not have any arrogance in the face of Yi Tian. He knew very well that with Yi Tian's background, if he were to attack the eternal controller now, the success rate would be much higher than his, and he could almost break through 100%. But Yi Tian is not going to attack the eternal controller now, he must have his own plans. The other peak legend realm lords also congratulated the white-bearded old man one by one, and the white-bearded old man simply responded and announced the retreat to stabilize the realm. Void area, Eternal Temple, the avatars of the Eternal Masters appeared. At this time, they were discussing the breakthrough of the white-bearded old man. According to convention, if an eternal controller is born in the void area, some shared treasures and territorial resources will be shared with the new eternal controller. After discussing for a while, the Qinglian controller said, when the white-bearded controller has stabilized his realm, discuss it with him. In short, all the resources that should be given must be given. I am very sure of that. The other eternal masters agreed. Chapter 1843 The Will of the Late Eighth Order. Years go by. After a period of time, the white-bearded old man completely stabilized the realm of the Eternal Master. After that, he officially became an eternal controller of the eternal hall in the void area, and obtained a part of the resources that belong to him. The resource consumption of the eternal controller is also very serious, so in order to improve their strength, the eternal controller also needs to divide the territory, and all the resources that are beneficial to the eternal controller are divided up by them. If one person achieves the eternal master, even if he becomes the eternal master, it will be very difficult at the beginning, so many resources are useless to them, and the resources that help the eternal master cannot be obtained. Fortunately, the old man with white beard was lucky. Although the eternal hall in the void area was not considered a powerful force in the boundary river, it was not a weak force. He had the strength to obtain a lot of resources, so he didn't need to worry about resources at first. Source C. At this moment, Yi Tian is also cultivating. He is using the resources of the treasure land to improve his eternal will, and according to his expectations, there is no problem in upgrading to the late 8th order realm. While other replica bodies use the secret of enlightenment to control the supreme legendary body, and the two divide labor in practice. It has to be said that the secret of comprehension is too amazing. After being activated, Yi Tian seems to be at an extremely high-end level to comprehend low-end things. However, using the secret of enlightenment also continues to consume willpower, so it cannot be permanently activated, and after a period of activation, one has to stop to restore the will. However, even so, Yi Tian's progress in controlling the supreme legendary body far surpassed before. In a blink of an eye, thousands of boundary years passed. This day, Yi Tian's will has finally increased from the middle stage of the 8th order to the late stage of the 8th order, and the willpower has increased many times. In addition, Yi Tian's supreme legendary body has also been controlled by him for nearly 90%, and after a while, he will be able to control 90% of the supreme legend body. Progress so fast, Yi Tian couldn't help sighing. If he didn't have the secret of enlightenment, he would never have made such progress now, and he would definitely still stop at the level of controlling 70% of the legendary body. Even after another 100,000 years of the world river, it is still the same. But now, his progress is incredible. Thousands of years of the river years passed, Yi Tian finally completed the breakthrough and controlled 90% of the supreme legendary body. As for his will, he couldn't make any further progress, and the resources that he obtained last time that could improve his will are exhausted. It is indeed very difficult to upgrade the will from the late stage of the 8th order to the peak will of the 8th order, and many resources cannot help it improve. Therefore, in a short period of time, Yi Tian had no choice but to give up the improvement of willpower first, and concentrate on improving and controlling the supreme legendary body. He now controls 90% of the supreme legendary body. If he controls 100% of the supreme legendary body, his body will transform and condense into the supreme control body. This is a huge transformation for him, so he must go all out to hit the realm of the supreme control body. Once the supreme control body is condensed, from the physical point of view, he is almost no different from the eternal control. At the very least, his physical strength is comparable to that of the eternal master. If he creates a top-notch time-space control technique and acquires a world-controlling soldier, his strength will be extremely terrifying, and there is even a chance to kill a weaker eternal master. Thus completing the second test arranged by that great being. The matter of controlling the soldiers has to be upgraded. I wonder if the white-bearded old man can give some news. He contacted the white-bearded old man before, and asked the white-bearded old man to inquire whether there is an eternal controller that sells the method of building a world soldier, or whether there is an eternal controller who undertakes the work of building a world soldier. He is not the eternal controller, because he cannot participate, and can only seek the help of the eternal controller. And although the half-toothed controller has met him, he can't go to the half-toothed controller for help, he can only ask the more familiar white-bearded old man for help. This day, the white-bearded old man informed Yi Tian that the news of taking control of the world soldiers became clear. Void area, Yi Tian saw the white-bearded old man. At this moment, the white-bearded old man could perfectly control his breath, and there would be no situation where he could not restrain his breath. Old man with white beard, is there any news? Yi Tian asked. The white-bearded old man nodded. I also want to build a world-controlling soldier, so I kept asking about it. Finally, I was introduced by Qinglian's controller, and I got to know an eternal controller. However, it will take a long time to create a soldier who controls the world, and it is not easy to ask him to make an appointment to create an eternal master who controls the soldier. Phew. Therefore, if you want to find the other party to build a control soldier, you need to wait in line. Ask for flowers. Is it feasible to buy the crafting method and blueprint and build it yourself? Yi Tian asked. Difficult, the white-bearded old man said. I have communicated with several eternal controllers, and it is not easy to create and control the soldiers. Any eternal controller who can create and control the soldiers by himself has gone through countless years. As well as failure, it took countless materials to finally accumulate enough experience. If we were to build it, the cost would be longer time, not worth it. 1.0. Then just wait. 1. Yi Tian muttered. The white-bearded old man added. There is also a way that doesn't need to wait. The eternal controller urgently needs a material called the 5 elements boundary crystal. Currently, it is only occasionally born in the 5 elements domain C of A no. 11 boundary river, and the 5 elements domain C is very chaos. The rules there exclude the eternal controller, and the 5 elements domain C is where the number 11 boundary river is. We belong to the number 13 boundary. If the half-step eternal controller of our no. 13 boundary river passes by, it is difficult to have any support. If you really find the 5 elements boundary crystal, if you don't have enough strength, it will be easy to fall. Moreover, what the eternal controller needs is not a 5 elements boundary crystal, but at least hundreds of them. If you collect hundreds of 5 elements boundary crystals, you can let him build control soldiers in advance for you, and it is free to build. 5 elements boundary crystal. Yi Tian hesitated for a while, and prepared to go to the 5 elements region C. Strictly speaking, he has never been to other boundary rivers. Last time, he went to Jajia. Although there was a number 13 Jhe there, he did not go to any other Jhe. Therefore, he is still a little curious about going to other boundary rivers. Old man with a white beard, I'm going to go to the 5 elements domain C, but I am the eternal master, and I can't go to another man with a white beard. Yi Tian said. The white-bearded old man immediately said, okay, I will take you to no. 11 Jhe, but when you get there, everything can only depend on you, and I can't help you there. Clear, Yi Tian answered it. Chapter 1844 The 5 Elements Domain C, the first 5 Elements Boundary Crystal. Boundary River. A copy of Yi Tian's body merged with the white-bearded old man. Today, the white-bearded old man has only this true God, and the incarnation cannot take him into the number 11 boundary river, so he must be dispatched on his own. Lord Endless, go! The white-bearded old man took Yi Tian to shuttle through the Jhe River at an incomparably fast speed, comparable to the shuttle speed of the Jhe Gate. In terms of rushing, even if Yi Tian is comparable to the Eternal Controller's combat power, he cannot compare to the Eternal Controller's speed. Soon, the white-bearded old man shuttled along the source of the number 13 boundary river, broke through layers of time and space, and came to the first layer of time and space outside the origin realm, which is called the origin virtual circle. We don't need to enter the source realm C, and then go to the number 11 realm river. It is easier to cross from the original virtual circle to the 11th realm river. When you become the eternal controller in the future, you can also step into the origin virtual circle. However, I also, 9-2, is the first time I have come to the original virtual circle. Said the white-bearded old man. Yi Tian nodded slightly. Yi Tian and the white-bearded old man broke through an invisible barrier of time and space in an instant and stepped into the virtual circle of origin. In Yi Tian's perception, the origin virtual circle is very empty, but the rules here are extremely powerful, making him bear a certain amount of pressure. Afraid of death, the half-step eternal controller came here, and it was a bit difficult to move. However, without the eternal controller to lead the way, the half-step eternal controller cannot enter here. The two kept on shuttle, and finally passed through the long space-time area, from the place where the 13th boundary river was located to the origin virtual circle corresponding to the 11th boundary river. Then, the white-bearded old man tore apart the space-time barrier between the source virtual circle and the 11th boundary river, and sent Yi Tian to enter. Lord Endless, if you want to come back, contact me on the main body, and I'll pick you up again. The white-bearded old man said. Thank you, old man with white beard. Yi Tian thanked. Shout out. Yi Tian passed through the space-time barrier and entered the number 11 boundary river. The number 11 boundary river and the number 13 boundary river look similar. Yi Tian flew in the number 11 boundary river, secretly said. After all, they are all boundary rivers, and they are just branches of the original boundary sea, so they don't seem to be different, just the difference in location. Afterwards, Yi Tian came to a giant city on the 11th Jhe, inquired about the news, and learned about the information about the 5 elements domain C and the detailed location. After that, Yi Tian rushed to the 5 elements region C. After traveling for a while, he finally arrived at the Five Elements Domain C. Overseas, there are dozens of giant cities and a large number of gathering places in the Five Elements region, which shows the great fame and prosperity of the Five Elements region. It seems that the value of the Five Elements boundary crystal is very high. Yi Tian secretly said, if it is not high, the eternal controller will not collect it. Perhaps to him, the Five Elements boundary crystal is just a kind of material, but for some eternal controllers, the value of the Five Elements boundary crystal is probably more precious than controlling the soldiers. Wow! Yi Tian entered the Five Elements Domain C, and as soon as he entered here, he found that it actually suppressed the power of time and space. Space-time is the supreme power. I didn't expect that the power of the Five Elements is the main force here, but the power of space-time is suppressed. Yi Tian was quite surprised. Only in such a place can treasures such as the Five Elements boundary crystal be born. But even in the Five Elements Domain C, it is somewhat difficult to find a piece of the Five Elements boundary crystal, let alone 100 pieces. However, Yi Tian heard some information, such as the place where the Five Elements beasts gather, and the Five Elements boundary crystals are often born. Because the Five Elements boundary crystal exudes the peculiar power of the Five Elements, practitioners cannot perceive it, but the Five Elements beast can easily perceive it. Yi Tian shuttled continuously in the Five Elements Domain C, duplicating talent unfolding, and exploring the surrounding situation. Every once in a while, he can perceive the existence of a half-step eternal controller, but everyone does not interfere with each other. Unless they encounter the Five Elements boundary crystal, they will kill each other. Otherwise, the situation of fighting rarely happens. Found it! Yi Tian was suddenly overjoyed. His copy talent sensed a Five-Element world beast. The strength of this Five Elements beast is also equivalent to a half-step eternal controller. He did not choose to follow the Five Elements beast, but prepared to copy the body of this Five Elements beast. Once the body of the Five Elements beast is copied and a Five Elements beast is condensed, maybe the position of the Five Elements beast can be sensed through the body of the Five Elements beast, which is much more cost-effective than tracking the Five Elements beast. Yi Tian secretly said. So, he began to copy the body of the Five Elements beast. A copy body from the outside world disintegrated, and there was an additional copy quota, and then Yi Tian quickly condensed the body of the Five Elements beast. Soon, a Five-Element world beast condensed and became a duplicate body. The Five Elements beasts are indeed very sensitive to the power of the Five Elements. At this time, Yi Tian clearly felt that the Five Elements energy in a certain direction was much richer, which attracted him to a certain extent. So, Yi Tian and the Five Elements beasts copied their bodies and flew in that direction. It didn't take long for Yi Tian to arrive at the destination. At this time, Yi Tian clearly sensed a source of energy, most likely the Five Elements boundary crystal, but he also sensed almost 10 Five Elements beasts. Yi's arrival attracted the attention of these Five Elements. Go away! These Five Elements beasts drove Yi Tian away. Yi Tian did not hesitate and immediately started. He did not let the body of the Five Elements beast take action, but let the copy of the body take action, so that he could exert the strongest combat power. 3,000 empty hands smashed this piece of time and space with one blow, and the Five-Element world beasts were smashed by Yi Tian like ants. In an instant, these Five-Element world beasts whose strength was comparable to the half-step eternal controller were all killed. Too weak, Yi Tian exclaimed. With his current strength, killing an ordinary half-step eternal controller can indeed be killed with just one hand. Then, Yi Tian began to look for the Five Elements boundary crystal. With the help of the Five Elements beast's copy body, he quickly locked the position of the Five Elements boundary crystal at 5.8. This Five Elements boundary crystal is located in the depths of an island peak, and it is also the source of energy here. Once taken away, the cultivation environment here will be abolished. Therefore, even if the Five Elements beast discovers the Five Elements boundary crystal, it will not take it away, but will only build a nest nearby for cultivation. Click! Yi Tian probed into the depths of the island's peak with one hand, and instantly shattered the island. Immediately, a Five-Element boundary crystal with a height of one person appeared in Yi Tian's hand. At this moment, a breath appeared in the distance of Yi Tian. A half-step eternal master has arrived. Yi Tian just focused his attention on this Five Elements boundary crystal, and he didn't perceive it until the other party approached. Receive. Yi Tian put away the Five Elements boundary crystal and immediately prepared to leave. But the half-step eternal controller stopped Yi Tian and didn't seem to want him to leave. Chapter 1845 Fighting against 100 Five Elements beasts with 1.039's own power. Did Your Excellency get the 5 elements boundary crystal? This half-step eternal controller stopped Yi Tian and asked. What's with you? Yi Tian said coldly. He knew that this person was afraid that he wanted to capture his 5 elements boundary crystal, otherwise he would not stop him. Originally, he didn't want to offend people when he first came here, but if this person is entangled, he doesn't mind destroying the other's clone. Of course it has something to do with me. Hand over the 5 elements boundary crystal, otherwise your clone will stay here. Compared with the 5 elements boundary crystal, your clone and the treasures on your clone are more valuable. The other party threatened. Are you looking for death? Yi Tian's breath diffused out. At this moment, his realm was revealed. In an instant, the other party's expression changed drastically. Impossible. At first he thought that Yi Tian was an ordinary half-step eternal controller. After all, Yi Tian was too unfamiliar and must have no reputation. But now, Yi Tian's breath is too terrifying. He is definitely the half-step eternal controller who controls 89% of the supreme legendary body. He only controls 50% of the supreme legendary body, and he is not Yi Tian's opponent. He wants to escape. Wow, time and space are distorted, and he continuously accelerates his own speed, trying to pierce through layers of time and space to leave. Suddenly, a large hand appeared in the surrounding time and space, grabbing him instantly. Then, his body began to annihilate, and it was annihilated without any resistance. At the same time, somewhere on the 11th boundary river, a young man opened his eyes, his pupils shrank sharply, and his fear never dissipated. It's terrifying, the strength of the other party is far beyond my imagination. I was the half-step eternal controller who controlled 50% of the supreme legendary body, and I was directly killed in seconds, and I didn't have the ability to resist at all. Like an eternal master. He didn't want to encounter such an enemy, so he didn't dare to take revenge on him. Nothing good. Yi Tian checked what the half-step eternal master left behind after his death, except for a defensive high-level eternal treasure and a combat high-level eternal treasure. This is also normal. Some half-step eternal controllers are afraid that their treasures will fall into the hands of others. In addition, their own strength is strong enough, and they do not need to prepare life-saving things, so their clones are very poor. Next, Yi Tian kept looking for the 5 elements boundary crystal. He has a 5-element world beast replica body, so the difficulty of finding the 5-element world crystal is very low, far surpassing other half-step eternal controllers. With the passage of time, pieces of the 5 elements boundary crystal fell into his hands, and he also encountered many attacks from half-step eternal controllers, but everyone who attacked him was instantly killed by him. After a long time, many half-step eternal controllers know that a nearly invincible half-step eternal controller has come from the 5 elements region C, so they are extremely jealous. At least they don't dare to fight indiscriminately. This day, Yi Tian controlled the 5 elements beast to copy the body and wandered to a certain area, and sensed the strong 5 elements energy fluctuations. I am afraid that there are 5 elements boundary crystals, and there are more than one. Then, Yi Tian approached here and quickly sensed the 5 elements beasts. The big lair of the 5 elements beasts. Yi Tian sensed no less than 105 element world beasts, many of which were comparable in strength to half-step eternal controllers who controlled 70 to 80% of the supreme legendary body. It can be said that this is the restricted area of A euro the half-step eternal controller, and no one dares to come here. Even if there are a lot of 5 elements boundary crystals here, they can't kill them unless they cooperate. But even if it is cooperation, if everyone is not in the same heart, it is easy to fall. The fall of the clone is a great loss to them, so I am afraid that no one will dare to attack here. Although Yi Tian is not afraid of these 5 elements beasts, once he kills him head-on, he will be easily dragged. If other half-step eternal controllers take advantage of this opportunity, he will be depressed to death. Let the 5 elements beasts copy their bodies to mix in first, and rely on them, and then take the opportunity to sneak in and steal the 5 elements boundary crystal. Even if they are discovered, they can kill them. Other half-step eternal controllers can't take advantage of the opportunity to pick up cheap. Yi Tian thought so. So, he did so. It has to be said that the wisdom of these 5 elements beasts is still average. Yi Tian took refuge, and they really accepted it. In this way, a copy of Yi Tian's body was mixed in here. At the beginning, Yi Tian didn't do it, he was going to wait for a while before doing it. In the blink of an eye, some years passed. This day, Yi Tian hides in the replica body of the 5 elements beast, and hides it with all his strength. At this moment, he has already determined the location of the 5 elements boundary crystal. Moreover, there are at least more than 105 elements boundary crystals here. Once you capture these more than 105 elements boundary crystals, you will make a lot of money. Soon, Yi Tian approached the position of the 5 elements boundary crystal. Go! Yi Tian exploded with all of his strength, without any concealment. He directly shattered layers of time and space, and touched those 5 elements boundary crystals. Collection and collection. Yi Tian kept collecting Zhaoxing, and the Xingji beast replicated its own beast. However, the 5 elements beasts were unable to replicate their physical combat power, so they were quickly killed. But this is enough time for Yi Tian. The 5 elements boundary crystal collection has been successful. Yi Tian brought the 5 elements boundary crystal and fought against these 5 elements beasts. His real 920 strength is too powerful, and the ordinary 5 elements beasts were instantly annihilated by him. Soon, he rushed out. And the battle here has attracted the attention of many half-step eternal controllers. These half-step eternal controllers came quickly and were stunned when they saw this amazing scene. Who is this, who actually fought with more than 105 elements beasts by himself? I know here that a half-step eternal controller who once controlled 90% of the supreme legendary body has returned with a feather and almost died. I didn't expect that a half-step eternal controller would come here to capture the 5 elements boundary crystal. This half-step eternal master seems to have succeeded. How did he do it? Strength. Didn't you see that the opponent's strength is much stronger than the half-step eternal realm that controls 90% of the supreme legendary body? Maybe it has already controlled 100%. No, he doesn't control the 100% supreme legendary body, but his own body is too terrifying, and his strength is so terrifying. These half-step eternal controllers are watching the excitement, but no one dares to participate. Soon, Yi Tian completely broke away from the encirclement, and beheaded 20 or so 5 elements beasts. Subsequently, Yi Tian immediately left the 5 elements domain C, and no one dared to deal with him along the way. Just when he left the 5 elements domain C, one after another eternal controllers appeared. Chapter 1846 Fragments of the Jhe Tablet, the transaction with the white-bearded old man. Yi Tian frowned. He did not expect that he would attract so many eternal masters. Needless to say, it must be because of these 5 elements boundary crystals in his hands. It seems that the value of the 5 elements boundary crystal is higher than he imagined, otherwise it will not attract so many eternal controllers. These eternal masters wanted to directly capture Yi Tian. A euro after all, Yi Tian had at least 105 elements boundary crystals, and only one 5 elements boundary crystal would not attract them. However, more than 100 yuan, the attraction is enough. However, when they took a closer look at Yi Tian, a euro their expressions suddenly changed. Mark of the 10 elements ancestors. Xixing ancestor is not something they can offend, they are like ants to Xixing ancestor. Even if there are eternal masters who don't know the 10 elements ancestor, or have never heard of it, but they sense the imprint of the 10 elements ancestor on Yi Tian, a euro they also know that it is a great existence that they cannot match. Therefore, they did not dare to do it. However, we have come, we can't just leave like this. So, an eternal controller said, you should have a lot of 5 elements boundary crystals on you. I want to trade some 5 elements boundary crystals, and the price will definitely satisfy your little friend. I also want to trade the 5 elements boundary crystal with my little friend. Another eternal master said. Seeing that these eternal masters have to trade with him, Yi Tian smiled inwardly. Naturally, the eternal controller will not be so easy to talk about, it is nothing more than the imprint of a great existence on his body, and they are extremely jealous, so they did not snatch the 5 elements boundary crystal from him. Otherwise, even if there is an ordinary eternal controller standing behind him, he will not be able to keep the 5 elements boundary crystal on his body. Yi Tian has no fear, so he doesn't worry anymore. He said directly, this is a transaction between me and an eternal master, so I can't make a transaction with you. These eternal masters were not angry, and after saying some polite words, they left one by one. And Yi Tian left here alone and went to the place where he came from. Void area. An avatar of the white-bearded old man was still in Suyang Mountain, so Yi Tian came directly here to inform the white-bearded old man that his avatar was about to return from the 11th Jhe, and asked the white-bearded old man to pick him up. So, the white-bearded old man went to know 11 Jhe as soon as possible. The origin virtual circle, the white-bearded old man came here, and immediately tore the barriers of time and space, and entered the 11th boundary river. Soon, he sensed Yi Tian's position, and brought Yi Tian back to the original virtual circle immediately. At the moment when the white-bearded old man just left, the time and space were distorted, and the will of the eternal controllers came here. It should have been the eternal controller of a certain boundary river just now. It is estimated that you will pick up the person and leave, you don't need to care. As long as you're not here to cause trouble, you don't need to worry about it. Soon, the will of these eternal masters dissipated one by one. The 13th boundary river. Yi Tian and the white-bearded old man came back. Lord Endless, it doesn't matter how many 5 elements boundary crystals you have found, if the number is smaller, I can talk to the weapon refiner who controls the world, and maybe I can ask him to help refine it, the white-bearded old man said. Old man with white beard, don't worry, I have obtained a lot of 5 elements boundary crystals, there are more than 200 in number, both of us can find him to refine and control the boundary soldiers. Yi Tian said. What, more than 205 elements boundary crystals? The white-bearded old man was shocked. Yi Tian didn't go to the 5 elements domain C for a long time. In such a short time, Yi Tian found more than 205 elements boundary crystals. Is it so difficult to find the 5 elements boundary crystal? But what he understands is that it is very difficult to find a 5 elements boundary crystal. In the 13th realm, a 5 elements boundary crystal is even enough to make a half-step eternal controller pay a small fortune. If the half-step eternal controller can easily find the 5 elements boundary crystal in the 5 elements domain C, it will not have such a high value. How did you find so many 5 elements boundary crystals? The white-bearded old man asked suspiciously. It's just luck, Yi Tian said with a smile. Lord Endless, to be honest, I really want the 5 elements boundary crystal, but the value of the 5 elements boundary crystal is too high, and I can't want your 5 elements boundary crystal for nothing, so let me exchange a treasure for you. 1. With that said, the white-bearded old man took out a treasure. This is a broken stone tablet, it looks very ordinary, but Yi Tian took a closer look and was immediately shocked. Is this a fragment of the boundary river tablet? Yi Tian asked. Yes. The white-bearded old man nodded. Every boundary river will give birth to a boundary river monument, and this boundary river monument is a fragment of the space boundary river monument. I also obtained it by accident. Growth is so fast. However, I have now broken through to the realm of the eternal controller, and this fragment of the boundary river tablet will not help me much, so I will give it to you. Speaking of which, I still made a profit. The 5 elements boundary crystal doesn't help me much now, but this boundary river monument fragment helps me even more. Yi Tian said with a smile. Subsequently, Yi Tian completed the transaction with the white-bearded old man, and handed over 105 element boundary crystals to him. Afterwards, the two went to find the eternal controller to build a world soldier. No. 13 Jhe, Kongtong Holy City. Yi Tian and the white-bearded old man arrived here, and what they were looking for was the master of the copper hammer, one of the 3 masters of the holy city of Kongtong. The strength of the copper hammer controller is not strong among the eternal controllers, because he only studies the refining tool, and is good at creating control soldiers. He does not know how many control soldiers he has created for other eternal controllers. It is because he helped other permanent controllers to create control soldiers, so he has a wide network of contacts, and many controllers will give him face. Therefore, no one will embarrass the master of the copper hammer. Soon, the white-bearded old man brought Yi Tian to the Copper Hammer Mountain where the Copper Hammer controller was located, and the Copper Hammer controller was in this Copper Hammer Mountain. At this moment, there are more than a dozen incarnations of the eternal controllers waiting here, all of whom came to find the Copper Hammer controllers to forge and control the soldiers, but they all need to wait in line. Bronze Hammer Controller, we brought the 5 elements boundary crystal and asked the Bronze Hammer controller to create a world-controlling soldier for me promised. The white-bearded old man shouted. Unexpected, the incarnation of the master of the Copper Hammer descended and looked at the white-bearded old man. White-bearded controller, I told you before that only if you have 105 elements boundary crystals, I will build you a controlled world soldier. The Copper Hammer controller said. At this time, the white-bearded old man took out 105 elements boundary crystals. I gathered 105 elements boundary crystals so quickly. The Copper Hammer controller was extremely surprised. If he went to collect them, he would not be able to collect them so quickly, because he was not the only one who needed the eternal controller of the 5 elements boundary crystals. 1. Suddenly, Yi Tian also took out 100 pieces of the 5 elements boundary crystal, and said, I have also collected 100 pieces of the 5 elements boundary crystal, the master of the copper hammer, and I also asked the master of the copper hammer to help build a world soldier. Seeing this, the master of the copper hammer was overjoyed. Okay, I will help you build the control soldiers for free, and I will also pay you the cost of the 5 elements boundary crystal. G. Chapter 1847 Control 100% of the Supreme Legendary Body. Subsequently, Yi Tian and the white-bearded old man followed the Bronze Hammer Lord into his palace. At this time, the body of Lord Copper Hammer is still forging and controlling the world soldier. Even if Yi Tian and the others don't need to line up, they still have to build the control world soldier well. At this time, Lord Bronze Hammer proposed 2 choices regarding the value of the 5 elements boundary crystal. 2 people, the value of the 5 elements boundary crystal is very high. I can give you 2 choices, one is to pay with boundary river coins, and the other is that I will build 2 pieces of control world soldiers for each of you, and the second piece of control world soldiers does not need you. Pay for the materials, and I can prepare the materials for you. How? It has to be said that the second choice of Lord of the Bronze Hammer is very tempting. So, Yi Tian said without hesitation, I choose the second one, and I want to build 2 control soldiers. The white-bearded old man also smiled and said, Jahe coins are useless. No matter how much Jahe coins are, it is difficult to buy and control the soldiers, so I choose the second one. Okay, you will give a general request for the first material to control the world soldier and what kind of control world soldier to build. Lord Bronze Hammer said. The white-bearded old man spoke first. I want to create an attack-type control soldier. The shape is a big seal, which can increase the time and space and the effect of the seal. Afterwards, the old man by 920 Shu explained the specific details. After listening to this, Lord Bronze Hammer said, Old man with white beard, there are 2 types of soldiers that meet your requirements, one is the sky seal and the other is the 8 clouds. You should be clear that the control of the soldiers is created, I didn't build it casually. If there is no specific method for building it, I can't build it. The only ones that meet your requirements are the Ferris seal and the 8 cloud seals. If you are not satisfied, you can only find those that meet your requirements. The control of the world soldier, and then I will build it. What are the specific effects of these 2 types of control over the soldiers? The white-bearded old man asked. Immediately, Lord Bronze Hammer specifically talked about the advantages and disadvantages of the 2 types of soldiers who control the world. After that, the old man with white beard made a decision. Just choose Ferris seal, the white-bearded old man decided. What about you? Lord Copper Hammer looked at Yi Tian. Yi Tian pondered for a while, and said, Is there a world soldier who can hold a large amount of Tao control? The higher the requirements on the physical body, the better, and the more powerful it can exert. Lord Bronze Hammer thought for a while, and said, There is also a kind, called 100 Realms Stick. The more Tao you control, the more powerful it will be able to exert its power, and the requirements for strength are also very high, and it is difficult for a weak controller to exert its power. Too powerful power is only suitable for top beings born with strong physical bodies and strong bloodlines. Then I will build the 100 Realms Stick. Yi Tian decided. On the contrary, he is proficient in Wan Dao, and he is also very proficient in Stick Dao, no matter what type of weapon. However, the Lord of the Copper Hammer said, If you want to forge the 100 Realm Stick, you need 1,000 tons of blood crystals. If you don't have 100 blood crystals, I can give it to you, but I can't give you the second weapon to control the realm. The value of 100 blood recrystals is very high, so if I pay 1,000 tons, I actually lose money. Then I don't need the second control of the world soldier, I only need the 100 Realm Stick. Yi Tian said without hesitation. One piece to help the greater control of the world soldiers can be more helpful than 2 pieces of control of the world soldiers. Okay, then it's settled, the 2 of you can leave first, and when the construction is finished, I will notify the 2 of you. Bronze Hammer Lord rode. It is good. After Yi Tian and the white-bearded old man left the materials, they left together. After returning, Yi Tian no longer has to worry about controlling the world soldiers, and can fully cultivate with peace of mind and control his own supreme legendary body. Now, he has controlled 90% of the supreme legendary body, and he is not far from controlling 100%. Next, he needs to attack Shicheng's supreme legendary body with all his strength. Time passes slowly. One after another Jahe year has passed, and in these years, Yi Tian's several cloned bodies have not gone out, and they are all assisting the cultivation, so the speed is faster. Before you know it, 30,000 years of the river have passed. After such a long period of ascetic cultivation, Yi Tian is finally about to control the Supreme Legend CJFI body of 100%. This day, boom, endless Jahe energy poured into Yi Tian's body, helping Yi Tian to temper his body. At this moment, he has already controlled the 100% Supreme Legendary Body, and at the moment of controlling the 100% Supreme Legendary Body, his body began to transform towards the Supreme Control Body. As a result, countless energies poured in to accelerate this transformation. The strength continues to skyrocket, and the strength of the body becomes stronger at an incredible speed. 3 times, 18, 10 times. Yi Tian never imagined that this small improvement would turn out to be such a huge transformation. It should be because of the secret of swallowing. My life level is very strong, so after controlling 100% of the Supreme Legendary Body, the transformation is so exaggerated. Yi Tian thought to himself. After a long time, this transformation ended. Suyang Mountain. The avatar of the white-bearded old man sensed the change in the position of the source sea in the void area. It seems that the Endless Lord has successfully controlled 100% of the Supreme Legendary Body, and condensed the Supreme Control Body. The white-bearded old man secretly said. In the past, he didn't know the secret of the Supreme Control Body, but after becoming the Eternal Master, he came into contact with a lot more secrets, so he also knew what Yi Tian's purpose was. Controlling 10% of the Supreme Legendary Body, condensing the Supreme Control Body, this is a legendary thing. He has never seen such an eternal controller, but now Yi Tian has done it. It can be said that Yi Lai is far from his comparison. Of course, he didn't envy him much, and he was very satisfied that he could become the Eternal Master. After another period of time, Yi Tian stabilized his realm. Next, it is necessary to create the top time and space control skills, and only after condensing the Supreme Control Body, can we hope to create the top time and space control skills, otherwise we have to wait until the breakthrough to the Eternal Master. Only by creating a top-notch time-space control technique, coupled with the control of the world soldiers, can he hope to kill the weaker Eternal Control. The Bronze Hammer Lord's control soldiers should be built quickly, and with my ability to control the secret of enlightenment and possess a large number of control-level ancestors, it should not be too difficult to create a top time-space control skill. Yi Tian thought to himself. In this way, another 1,000 years of the river have passed. On this day, the Lord of the Bronze Hammer came with a message. His Baiji stick has been built perfectly. So, Yi Tian went to Kongtong Holy City for the first time. Lord Endless, this is your Baiji stick. Lord Bronze Hammer placed 100 realms stick exuding a ferocious aura in front of Yi Tian. Yi Tian held it in his hand, as if he was holding an eternal sea. It's too heavy. However, Yi Tian can also feel its strength, far exceeding the general control of the soldiers. For quite a long time in the future, this 100 realms stick will be his main battle weapon. Chapter 1848 Strength Skyrockets, Choose Targets. It's a little troublesome to control the world soldiers, and Yi Tian's cultivation has not yet reached the realm of the Eternal Controller, so it is more difficult to refine and control the world soldiers. However, Yi Tian has a lot of cloned bodies, so one can slowly refine and control the world soldiers with a cloned body without affecting his practice. In the days that followed, Yi Tian tried to create top-notch space-time control skills while refining and controlling the world soldiers. In addition, Yi Tian is also inquiring about where to buy the blood essence of the life of the Eternal Control level Jihei. He needs to buy a copy to devour. He has now condensed the Supreme Control Body, and can use the secret of swallowing to devour the essence blood of the life of the Eternal Control level river. However, how powerful the Eternal Control realm is, it is not easy to fall, and even if it does fall, there is not necessarily someone who sells the blood of the life of the Eternal Control realm river. Therefore, it is still very difficult for him to purchase the blood essence of the Eternal Controller Jihei life. The most important thing is that Yi Tian has not yet entered the circle of the Eternal Controller, otherwise it would be easier. Therefore, Yi Tian also got rid of the white-bearded old man to help in the acquisition, but it is unclear whether the white-bearded old man can acquire it. In a flash, thousands of boundary years passed. At this time, Yi Tian had already refined the 100 realm stick, and it was not far from creating a top-notch time-space control technique. In addition, there was also news from the white-bearded old man that there was really a way to acquire the blood essence that controls the life of the realm river forever. This day, Yi Tian met the white-bearded old man. Old man with white beard, do you have news about the eternal control of the life essence and blood of the realm river? Yi Tian asked. The white-bearded old man nodded. An Eternal Controller level auction is about to begin. According to the information I have obtained, one of the auction items is a blood essence that controls the life of the realm river forever, and the quantity is quite large. You can prepare a lot of Jihei coins. I will try my best to bid for you. But I can't take you there. That auction is only for the Eternal Master. I see. Yi Tian nodded. Immediately, he began to sell a large number of his treasures one by one and exchange them for Jihei coins. After a period of time, Yi Tian collected a huge amount of Jihei coins and gave them to the white-bearded old man. After that, he could only wait. After a while, the white-bearded old man came to Yi Tian. The Endless Lord, with good luck, finally captured the blood essence that controls the life of the realm river forever. 1. The white-bearded old man handed a large amount of blood essence to Yi Tian, €1 and also gave Yi Tian the remaining Jihei coins. Thank you, old man with white beard, Yi Tian said gratefully. If it wasn't for the white-bearded old man, he probably wouldn't have the chance to buy such blood essence. Just a little thing, the white-bearded old man said. Afterwards, Yi Tian began to retreat and refine the blood essence that controls the life of the realm river for eternity. I saw that he swallowed the blood essence and began to refine the blood essence with the secret of swallowing. Boom, countless energies began to refine Yi Tian's body, and even the secret of swallowing was somewhat reluctant to refine. It has to be said that it is indeed very difficult for the half-step eternal controller to refine the blood essence of the eternal control of the realm river life. If it weren't for him, if it were another half-step eternal controller, he would have exploded and died long ago. Time passed slowly, Yi Tian's flesh body became stronger and stronger. The refining this time has helped him too much, and the secret of swallowing is enough to defy the sky. Even the blood essence that controls the life of the realm river forever can be refined to improve his life level. After a long time, this batch of blood essence was completely refined. The level of life has been greatly improved, and the physical body has been improved several times. Yi Tian was very excited. Moreover, he is about to create a top-notch time-space control technique, and his strength will inevitably skyrocket again. With the help of the secret of enlightenment, dozens of boundary years passed. Finally, Yi Tian created a top-notch time-space control technique. The time-space control technique he created this time was created with the 100 Realms stick, so that it could exert its power even more. He named this time-space control technique Qiandao killing. Gather the power of 1,000 paths as a point, kill with a point, pierce through everything, and smash everything. In the Boundary River, Yi Tian's two replicated bodies were testing the power of 1,000 Dao killing. One of the cloned bodies had nothing, and the other cloned body held the 100 Realms stick and performed 1,000 killings. The power of 1,000 paths is completely under his control, forming a little power. Boom, the 100 Realms cudgel smashed everything and blasted past. All the rules along the way were shattered in time and space, crushing everything, and the terrifying breath seemed to annihilate all the rules. Click, the other copy body was killed without any resistance, and the body was completely annihilated. This blow is strong enough to hit the weaker Eternal Master hard. Yi Tian estimated. Certainly, this is not enough. He also needs to create a top-speed class space-time control skill, and he is going to deduce the time-space control skill of void walking to the level of the top time-space control skill. €1 for flowers, €1. If the speed is not good, the Eternal Master wants to escape, and he can't chase it. If possible, he also wants to deduce the forbidden area of €1 time and space to the level of top time and space control skills, so that he can ensure that he can kill a weaker Eternal Controller, thus completing the second test of that great existence. With the experience of creating the first top time-space control technique, Yi Tian's next creation speed is much faster. This time, only 20,000 Boundary River years had passed, and Yi Tian had successfully created the second top-notch time-space control skill, which was still named by him as Void Walk, but it was many times stronger than the previous Void Walk. Next, Yi Tian deduced the forbidden area of €1 time and space with all his strength, and it took 18,000 years of the river to deduce the forbidden area of €1 time and space to the level of top time and space control skills. 0. As a result, Yi Tian possesses 3 top time space control skills, and his strength has almost reached a level that is difficult to improve. Although he can continue to create more top time and space control skills, even if he creates a few more top time and space control skills, the increase in strength is very small. Time to complete the second exam. 1 inch. Yi Tian muttered. But which Eternal Master should be attacked? The other Eternal Masters have no hatred with him, and he is not good at killing people. If you want to choose a weaker Eternal Controller that suits his goals, such an Eternal Controller is hard to find. Then, Yi Tian kept investigating the information, and after various investigations, he finally came to a decision. Godless City Lord. Although this Eternal Controller has been an Eternal Controller for some years, his strength is not very strong. Yi Tian chose him because he had no background, but his behavior made him very uncomfortable. The godless city lord is good at controlling people. He has controlled many geniuses. The entire godless city is under his control. He can kill any creature with a single thought. The peak legend lords and half-step eternal controllers under his control are as many as 1 million, and they must act according to his requirements and provide him with resources, otherwise they will be killed by him. Many eternal controllers are unhappy with Wushan City Lord, but they do not threaten themselves, so other eternal controllers just reject him and will not kill him. This is also related to the fact that Godless City Lord never offends other eternal controllers, so many eternal controllers turn a blind eye. It's him, Yi Tian decided. Chapter 1849 Crush the Godless City Lord. Godless City. There is only one eternal controller in this city, that is, the Godless City Lord. This is not a giant city, but an ordinary city. Among the boundary rivers, there are still quite a few such cities, almost all of which were built by a certain eternal controller himself. The power is far inferior to that of a giant city. Basically, those who can build a giant city are the strongest among the eternal controllers. Like the master of Qinglian. And Wushan City Lord is too weak, and is weak among the eternal masters, so there is no qualification to build a giant city. In Wushan City, there is not even the gate of the boundary river. Practitioners in Wushan City can only rely on flying if they want to experience. Of course, in Wushan City, only practitioners who are completely loyal to Wushan City Lord are qualified to practice. Take it into a restricted area to explore, September 20th, and risk death. It can be said that the practitioners in Wushan City are very miserable. This day, Yi Tian shuttled continuously in the boundary river, and finally arrived at the area where Wushan City was located. Then, he walked to the Godless City. Few outsiders came to Wushan City, so Yi Tian was immediately noticed by the practitioners of Wushan City after he came to Wushan City. Of course, it's not that no one came, but most of those who dared to come were practitioners with backgrounds. Such practitioners, Godless City Lord dare not control them. There are also self-contained transactions within Wushan City, and everyone also longs for someone who can hit the realm of the Eternal Controller, so as to get rid of the control of Wushan City Lord, or become a strong person and pledge allegiance to Wushan City Lord. When Yi Tian walked into Wushan City, a woman of the first-level peak legend realm walked in front of Yi Tian. "My lord, do you need a guide?" the woman asked. "Guide? Interesting." Yi Tian nodded slightly and said, "Yes, how many Jihei coins do you want?" 100. The woman spoke up. "Give it to you." Yi Tian took out 100 boundary river coins, gave it to the woman, and immediately said, "Tell me about the situation in Wushan City." The woman received the Jihei coins and immediately said, "Sir, we have 3 large trading areas in Wushan City, where you can buy a lot of treasures." The woman said a lot, but none of the information Yi Tian imagined to know. So, Yi Tian asked directly, "I want to know where you Wushan City Lords have gone." Godless City Lord. The woman's expression changed drastically, and this person dared to directly ask Wushan City Lord, even if she knew, she would not dare to say, "In Wushan City Lord, who would dare to mention Wushan City Lord?" "Sir, if you want to find the Wushan City Lord, you can go to the Wushan City Lord's mansion. Some adults in the Wushan City Lord's mansion can report on their behalf." "I am a small person, how do you know?" the woman explained. "Let's go, take me to Wushan City to see everywhere," Yi Tian said with a smile. He knew that Wushan City Lord was not in Wushan City, so he didn't act immediately. He guessed that the Godless City Lord should have gone out, and at most one incarnation will stay here. Therefore, he is prepared to wait for a few days, and if the Godless City Lord has not returned, he will change his plan. Time passed slowly. Yi Tian also stayed in Wushan City for some days. He also knew what this guide was called. She was called Kaylee, and her parents were also practitioners in Wushan City, but many years ago, they went out with Wushan City Lord and never came back. As for the results, it's obvious. However, Kaylee did not say much, and did not dare to discuss. Yi Tian never left or bought anything in Wushan City, which naturally attracted the attention of Wushan City's main mansion. Godless City Lord's mansion. The guards are reporting the situation to the Godless City Lord, and the Godless City Lord who stays here is naturally a clone. "Lord City Lord, there is a foreign cultivator who behaves very strangely. He has been here for a long time, but he doesn't buy anything or leave. What should we do now? Should we take him down?" asked the captain of the personal guard. The Lord of Wushan City said, "I have spied on him with a magic circle, but I can't see through him. There should be an eternal controller behind him, so he can't be caught." Don't worry about him for now, as long as he doesn't cause trouble, he will stay in Washington City, then let him stay, and when a certain time comes, charge him a fee, or drive him away. Yes, Lord City Lord. The captain of the guards replied. Some days have passed, and the main body of the godless city lord has finally returned. You can do it, Yi Tian smiled. Immediately, he said to Kai Li, you go first, a battle will begin soon, don't get close. War. Kaylee is puzzled, where will there be battles in Washington City? But the next moment, her pupils shrank, what did she think of? At this moment, Yi Tian had already crossed the void and arrived at the city lord's mansion in Washington City. Who dares to approach the city lord's mansion, courting death? Dozens of members of the personal guard appeared, each with the combat power of the 5th level peak legend realm lord. They were the most elite subordinates of the godless city lord, and the captain of the guard was the half-step eternal controller. Destroy. Yi Tian waved his hand, and the terrifying space-time forbidden area imprisoned these members of the guards, and then killed them with a single thought. In an instant, these practitioners all fell and turned into corpses. Boom. The godless city lord appeared, and endless killing intent emerged from him. At this moment, he doesn't care, he must kill Yi Tian, a euro even if Yi Tian has the support of the eternal controller behind him, he will also do it. Yi Tian killed his elite for no reason, this matter could not end like this. You must know that among these practitioners, several of them are the main body. When the main body dies, all the other clones dissipate, which is really completely lost. Therefore, the loss of Washington City is huge. A mere half-step eternal controller who dares to kill me, courting death. Washington City Lord was furious, holding a spear and stabbing directly. The blow of the eternal controller seems to completely control all the rules here, so that the half-step eternal controller has no resistance. In his opinion, this blow could kill Yi Tian. The end is set. However, 5.8 Yi Tian took out the 100 realms stick, pulled one out, and slammed it towards Washington City Lord. Thousands of kills. Yi Tian used this top-notch time-space control technique, cooperating with the 100 realms cudgel to deliver an unimaginable blow. Click. Washington City Lord's spear was smashed, and the 100 realms stick attacked like a broken bamboo, and another blow smashed Washington City Lord's armor, directly knocking Washington City Lord into the air, piercing through the magic circle of Washington City, and fell into the boundary river. And Yi Tian stepped out of Washington City and stepped into Jiehe. Time and space forbidden area. Nothing walks. Yi Tian used two top-notch time-space control skills one after another to hunt down the godless city lord, making it impossible for him to escape. Boom. The godless city lord was completely crushed. At this moment, the practitioners in Washington City were all stunned. The godless city master was crushed by a half-step eternal controller. Chapter 1850 The third test of the 10-line ancestor. Washington City Lord was dumbfounded, and a half-step eternal controller was even stronger than him. He originally thought that Yi Tian only dared to be so arrogant because of his deep background, and now he knows that Yi Tian's real confidence is his own strength. The cultivation of the half-step eternal controller is comparable to the combat power of the eternal controller. However, such an evildoer actually wanted to kill him. Who are you and why are you killing me? The godless city lord roared. Endless Lord, Yi Tian. Yi Tian reported his identity. Endless Lord. The godless lord seemed to have heard this name somewhere, and he quickly remembered it. He passed through the evildoer on the 9th floor of the ancient pagoda of Banya. He did not expect to grow to be stronger than him so quickly. Washington City Lord wanted to escape, but Yi Tian's time-space forbidden area blocked this place, and he could not get rid of Yi Tian with his strength. Gradually, he started to get hurt. Yi Tian's 100 realms cudgel plus 1000 Dao killing power was too terrifying, Washington City Lord couldn't stop it, and the body in control gradually began to collapse. Inside the godless city, 29 Kaylee stood on top of a tall building, her eyes looked at the battle in the boundary river through the void, although she could not see Yi Tian's battle with Washington City Lord, but some people could see it roughly, and they were also discussing, so she could know how the battle was going. That adult is even stronger than the godless city lord. Kaylee was shocked. In these years, she has been a guide for this adult. If the godless city master died, it would be fine. Take off your mind. In fact, not only she thinks this way, but many practitioners in Washington City think this way. It's just that their true spirit core is controlled by Washington City Lord, and they can control their life and death with a single thought, no matter where they escape, it is useless. But once the godless city lord dies, they have the hope of regaining their freedom. Boom. In the boundary river, Yi Tian and Washington City Lord's fight disrupted the endless time and space, and the time and space collapsed everywhere. Wushan City Lord's body was shattered again and again by Yi Tian's 100 realm stick, but after all, he was the eternal controller, so it was difficult to kill. Soon, the godless City Lord felt that he was about to be unable to bear it. He really could have fallen. However, he used every treasure that could escape, but he couldn't escape. The top time and space control skills are too powerful, even he has not comprehended a top time and space control skills, otherwise, he will not be at the bottom of the eternal control. Another moment passed. Under Yi Tian's another 1,000 killing attack, Wushan City Lord's body was completely shattered. Although it was condensed again, his will was annihilated and turned into a corpse. The godless City Lord has fallen. After killing Wushan City Lord, Yi Tian took out a treasure on Wushan City Lord's body, which was a treasure similar to a tree. This tree gathers endless cores of will. It is the treasure that controls countless living beings. Moreover, lacking the core of will, even a half-step Eternal Master cannot break through to the Eternal Master in a lifetime. Now, he has killed the godless City Lord, so let's release the core of the will of these creatures by the way. Break. Yi Tian crushed this tree, and countless cores of will broke away from the tree's shackles and drifted back to his own body one by one. Godless City. Countless cultivators sensed that their core of will had returned, and they were immediately excited. Thank you, Senior. Countless practitioners bowed their heads in thanks. At this time, even the personal guards who originally belonged to the loyal subordinates of Wushan City Lord regained their freedom, and their expressions were extremely complicated. You know, they have offended a lot of people, and they are afraid that life will be difficult. If Yi Tian hadn't left, otherwise they would have escaped immediately. Yi Tian didn't care what happened later, he left here directly. I passed the second test of that great being, what is the third test? Yi Tian was curious. Just when Yi Tian was intrigued, he found that the time and space around him began to distort, his cloned body left this area uncontrollably, crossed an incomparably long distance, and came to another time and space area. This place definitely does not belong to the number 13 boundary river, but belongs to a certain place in the source boundary sea. Here, he saw a middle-aged man. This person sat cross-legged on a futon and seemed to be sitting there, but Yi Tian could not perceive his existence, and a consciousness told him that there was only one person sitting there. What a terrifying power, Yi Tian secretly said. Meet the seniors. Yi Tian said hello. Little guy, you are very nice and lucky. The middle-aged man smiled. Yi Tian's expression changed, guessing that his copying talent might have been seen. This is how he feels. Moreover, this is the first time he has been thoroughly understood. At this time, the other party said again, don't panic, no one can take away your chance, everyone has their own chance. Let me introduce myself first. People call me the ancestor of the 10 elements. My disciple, you can also call me the 10-line ancestor. This time, I sensed that you have completed the 2 tests I arranged, so I brought you here. If you want to become my direct disciple, I can arrange the 3rd test now. If you don't want to, I can give you a great opportunity to end this karma. After Shi Xingzu finished speaking, he waited for Yi Tian's answer. Yi Tian did not hesitate at all, and said directly, 10 Xing ancestors, I am willing to accept the 3rd test. He is very aware of such a great existence as the 10 elements ancestor, and even the registered disciples are the eternal controllers of the half-tooth controller level, and they are definitely the top existences in the world. Although he has the talent of copying, but copying TN 920 talent only improves his talent, it does not mean that he can grow to the level of 10-line ancestors in the future. For example, if there are no 2 secret techniques left by Shi Xingzu, he can't have such strength now, and maybe he can only become a half-tooth controller in the future. Therefore, if you apprentice to Shi Xing ancestor, you will have the hope of climbing to a higher level in the future. Very good, your choice is correct. No matter how talented you are, if you take a wrong step, your future achievements will be limited. There will never be a lack of talent and people with great luck in the world, but they can truly grow to the pinnacle of the source realm. Not only by talent and great luck, but also by background and luck. I'll give you the 3rd test now. If you complete it, you will be my 5th direct disciple. Shi Xing ancestor took out 8 scrolls and gave them to Yi Tian. These are the other 8 secret techniques, which are no less than the secret of swallowing and the secret of enlightenment. You need to practice all of them, and finally combine the 8 secret techniques to create a magic that is superior to them, occult. Remember, don't attack the Eternal Master before taking this step. If you succeed, you can become my 5th direct disciple. After Shi Xingzu finished speaking, he disappeared. But Yi Tian returned to his senses and returned to the place on the 13th Jhe again. If it weren't for the 8 scrolls in his hand, he would even think it was just an illusion. The third test of the 10 Elements ancestor is too difficult. Yi Tian thought. Chapter 1851 10 Secret Techniques. Although the third test was difficult, but this time, he obtained 8 secret techniques, all of which were secret techniques at the level of swallowing the secret. For Yi Tian, this was also a great opportunity. Yi Tian knew very well that even if he failed the assessment, he would still be able to become the official disciple of the 10 Elements ancestor, above the registered disciple, but his status was not as good as that of a direct disciple. Yi Tian's purpose is naturally to become the direct disciple of Xixing ancestor. Only by becoming his direct disciple can he obtain greater opportunities and hope to become Xixing ancestor or a great existence beyond Xixing ancestor. After obtaining these 8 secret techniques, Yi Tian went back and began to comprehend silently. What surprised Yi Tian was that this time, he did not need to pass the assessment to obtain these 8 secret techniques, and he could directly comprehend and practice. Of course, these secret art scrolls can only be inherited once. After the inheritance, there is no way to continue to enlighten others, and the inheritance obtained can only be practiced by oneself, and cannot be written. This kind of secret technique is not allowed to exist in heaven and earth, unless it reaches the existence of Xixing ancestor, can he create the inheritance of the secret of swallowing by himself. These 8 secret techniques are the secret of body, the secret of emptiness, the secret of time, the secret of power, the secret of world, the secret of mind, the secret of life and the secret of death, plus the secret of enlightenment and the secret of swallowing. The 10 secrets of the 10 Elements ancestors. Comprehending any of these 10 secret techniques is enough to become a top genius among the world rivers. But now, Yi Tian has obtained 10 secret techniques. Once he has mastered all of them, even if he cannot pass the third examination of the 10 Elements ancestors, his future achievements will be limitless. Among these secret techniques, the secret of the body can better understand one's physical body and control all the secrets of the physical body. If the secret of the body is practiced, one can easily control 10% of the supreme legendary body. At the beginning, if Yi Tian had obtained the secret of the body earlier, he would have gathered the supreme control body. Moreover, the secret of the body can more easily find the defects of the physical body to make up for it, and learn how to temper one's body faster, and if it cooperates with the secret of swallowing, it is enough to improve the physical body to an unimaginable level. The secret of the empty is a space secret technique. Once it is practiced, it is possible to travel anywhere in the boundary river at will, even if it is a half-step eternal controller, the speed is faster than that of the eternal controller, and it is difficult to imprison those who know the secret of void. Practitioners, many bands can be easily broken. The secret of time is the secret technique of time. Even if Yi Tian has not reached the realm of the eternal controller, he can also cross the time line, cross the past and the future, and can also control time extremely powerfully. The secret of sky and secret of time can also be used in battle. For example, the secret of time can speed up one's thinking and consciousness, and the enemy's attack will become very slow in his eyes. If the enemy's willpower is strong and his own will is weak, if he can't react, he can use the secret of time to follow on the opponent's actions. The secret of strength is the most common of these secret techniques, but it can greatly enhance the combat power, allowing one's own strength to be increased tenfold or even dozens of times, breaking the upper limit of one's own attack with one blow. If Yi Tian had obtained the secret of strength, he would have killed Wushan City Lord more easily. The secret of will is a secret technique of will, which can increase one's willpower. For example, if the will of the later stage of the 8th stage is increased by the secret of the will, it can be temporarily increased to the level of the peak will of the 8th order. The secret of life represents endless life. Once the secret of life is known, serious injuries can be quickly recovered. He can rely on the secret of life to fight continuously without fear of any injury. The secret of death is a secret technique to control the life and death of others, similar to the method of the godless city lord, but the purpose of this secret technique is not to control others but to protect. That's right, the secret of death is protection. Once the secret of death is given to a certain creature, it can not only control the life and death of others but also protect him. If the other party is killed, you can use the secret of death to resurrect him. In the void area, some ordinary people died and could easily be resurrected, but once a lord-level creature fell, the Eternal Master could not revive it, no matter how powerful it was. The secret of death can turn death into life and bring it back to life. Therefore, this secret technique is terrifying, and it uses the way of death to an unimaginable level. Of course, the secret of death cannot be used on many people, at most 9 creatures, and cannot be used to surpass one's own strength. Moreover, it is necessary for the other party to voluntarily, before they can cast the secret of death on them. You can cast the secret of death on your family. If they encounter danger in the future, and I did not protect them in time, causing them to fall, you can also use the secret of death to resurrect them. Yi Tian thought to himself. So in the following days, Yi Tian practiced these secret techniques with all his strength. Time flies, and a secret technique has been successfully cultivated under Yi Tian's efforts. And Yi Tian discussed it with his family and put the secret of death on them. Usually, it didn't have any effect, and they didn't make any changes. As long as the family members are fine, this secret technique is the same as if it has not been used. It can be said that Yi Tian really doesn't need to worry about the safety of his family now, even if they go crazy to practice and die, it doesn't matter. Of course, Yi Tian didn't say the true effect of the secret of death, otherwise they would really go crazy, and he would have a headache. With 10 secret techniques, Yi Tian's current strength has reached an incomparably terrifying level, and he can easily kill an eternal controller like the godless city lord. But his current goal is to integrate the 10 secret techniques and create a supreme secret technique that surpasses the 10 secret techniques before he is qualified to pass the third test. I have to say, this test is too perverted. Right now, Yi Tian has no clue. He tried to create a secret technique, but the secret techniques created at the beginning were very general, not as good as these 10 secret techniques. Fortunately, among these 10 secret techniques, there is also a secret of enlightenment, which can assist him in comprehending creation, otherwise he really has no hope of passing the third test. But even with the help of the secret of enlightenment, he didn't have much confidence. One boundary year after another passed, and in the blink of an eye, tens of thousands of boundary years passed. In such a long time, Yi Tian has become more and more familiar with the 10 secret arts, but so far he has not passed the third promised test. Of course, Yi Tian was not without gains, his strength has improved a lot, his physical body has been raised to another limit, and he has more control over some Taoist purchases. This day, during Yi Tian's comprehension and cultivation, a sudden inspiration suddenly appeared. Then, he caught this ray of light and gradually understood how to create this secret technique. Using the 10 secret techniques as the basis to create a secret technique that surpasses the 10 secret techniques, but I should not be bound by these 10 secret techniques. If I am bound, I will not be able to create a secret technique that surpasses them. Secret techniques. These 10 secret techniques have been perfected to the extreme, and I cannot be more powerful than the 10 elements ancestors, so simply comprehending these 10 secret techniques will not be able to successfully create secret techniques that surpass them. Yi Tian knew that he had to use the 10 secret techniques as the core, to comprehend other things, so as to jump out of the shackles, only then could he hope to create a heaven-defying secret technique that surpassed the 10 secret techniques. Chapter 1852 Life Swallowing Technique, the fifth personal biography of the 10 Qing ancestors. Knowing his own problem, Yi Tian found the direction, no longer deliberately combining 10 secret techniques to create a more powerful secret technique, but using one secret technique to play his own advantages to improve other aspects. Moreover, Yi Tian's control of the Tao is still less, although it has broken 1,000, but the background is still not enough. Therefore, Yi Tian continued to use the 10 secret techniques to improve himself, using the 10 secret techniques to improve other aspects as much as possible, and strive to fully tap the potential of the 10 secret techniques, instead of rushing to create more powerful secret techniques. In this way, the years have passed, and the long time has passed. Unknowingly, Yi Tian once again practiced hardships and closed the year of the 150,000 World River. This retreat took a long time, but the harvest was great. With his close to full-scale improvement, he has already controlled 3,000 paths, and his own will has improved a lot. Although he has not reached the peak of the 8th order realm, it is not far behind. And with the increase of the secret of mind, he can even exert a will that almost surpasses the peak of the 8th order realm. And the physical body has also been raised to the current extreme, and using the secret of the body to completely control the physical body, the power can be exerted to the limit. Moreover, his use of power, time, space, etc. has reached an unimaginable level, and he has even created a large number of top time and space control skills. A 920 body strength is much stronger than in the past. It can be said that Yi Tian has brought the functions of the 10 secret techniques into full play, and has gained new insights into his understanding and mastery of the 10 secret techniques. It can even be said that he has developed a new understanding through the 10 secret arts, and the secret arts are interlinked, and the same is true for the 10 secret arts. This day, Yi Tian then tried to create a secret technique beyond the 10 secret techniques again. Through the connection with the 10 secret techniques and the understanding and perception of them, he absorbed the essence of them to create, instead of forcibly integrating the 10 secret techniques. Under such circumstances, Yi Tian gradually gained some insights and gains, and even saw the dawn. Of course, even so, if Yi Tian wants to create such a secret technique, it will take a long time, but at least there is hope to create it. After 330,000 world river years, Yi Tian initially created a secret technique, but there is still a big flaw. It is not a complete secret technique, so it still needs to be perfected. However, Yi Tian was very excited because he was finally going to create it, and then he only needed to perfect it step by step. In order to perfect this secret technique, Yi Tian let the cloned body test CJFI himself, finding loopholes and flaws through experiments. Since then, Yi Tian's cloned body collapsed and fell again and again. In exchange for other half-step eternal controllers, they would not dare to experiment like this, and eternal controllers would not dare to experiment once at all, because eternal controllers have only one body and no clones. Of course, the eternal master incarnates billions, which is also an advantage. It has been perfected over a long period of time. I don't know how many times I have broken and copied my body. Finally, on this day, Yi Tian has truly perfected this secret technique. Yi Tian named this secret technique as life-swallowing technique, and life-swallowing technique definitely surpassed those 10 secret techniques. The life-swallowing technique was created successfully. Yi Tian has perfected it many times and confirmed that it has no flaws, so he contacted Xixing ancestor. The will of the 10 elements ancestor descended and directly took Yi Tian away. Seeing Xixing ancestor again, Yi Tian respectfully said, "Having seen Xixing ancestor, I have created a secret technique that surpasses the 10 secret techniques." 1. 10 elements ancestor deduced for a while, then smiled and said, "Very good, the secret technique you created is indeed beyond the 10 secret techniques, and only one person is allowed to practice. You have completed the third test, and you can become my first 5 direct disciples. Let's go, I'll take you to Wanyuan Mountain." As soon as Xixing ancestor waved his hand, Yi Tian was taken to Wanyuan Mountain by Xixing ancestor. Wanyuan Mountain is located in the Sea of A origin and is the dojo of the 10 Xing ancestors. Here, except for the direct disciples and formal disciples of the 10 elements ancestors, others are not allowed to enter, nor can they enter. At this time, there were not many people on Wanyuan Mountain. When Yi Tian came here, a dozen people came here. "Master, is this the new little junior brother?" a young man asked. "You should call him senior brother," Shi Xingzu said. "What, senior brother, is he the 5th direct disciple accepted by master?" The crowd was shocked. You must know that Shi Xingzu has not accepted direct disciples for many years. When the first few direct disciples were accepted, the conditions for accepting apprentices were lower, especially the first direct disciple. The conditions for accepting apprentices were very low, not necessarily better than their talent is high. But nowadays, the direct disciple who wants to become the 10 elements ancestor must complete 3 tests that are almost impossible to complete. But still someone has done it. Evildoer, so monstrous. These people respectfully called Yi Tian senior brother. Yi Tian had a strange look on his face. He could see that these people were all eternal controllers, and their strength was much stronger than that of the half-tooth controllers. His breath made him feel suffocated. Such an existence actually calls him a senior brother. He is simply flattered. However, as a direct disciple of the 10 elements ancestor, he also has to have his own majesty and cannot be cowardly. "Hello, brothers and sisters," Yi Tian said politely. "You go away first," Shi Xingzu ordered. Yes, these disciples left one by one. On the top of Wanyuan Mountain, in a pavilion, Yi Tian sits here with Xixing ancestor. Ten Xingzu said, "In a few days, I will hold the apprenticeship ceremony for you, and I will introduce you to all the brothers and sisters. There are 5 direct disciples, 33 official disciples, and more than 300 named disciples in Wanyuan Mountain. For example, the half-tooth controller you know is one of my named disciples." "So many," Yi Tian said. "The number of this disciple is quite large, and each of them is extremely powerful, not weaker than the half-tooth controller." Xixing ancestor continued, "What is the name of the secret technique you practice?" "Death swallowing," Yi Tian said. "Death swallowing technique." Shi Xingzu said a few words, and immediately suggested, "This secret technique of yours should be able to turn his life into his own." "What life do you want to devour?" "I haven't figured it out yet." Yi Tian shook his head. Xixing ancestor suggested, "Hey Ji Hai, you can think about this kind of life." "Black Sea," Yi Tian suddenly realized, Black Silence Sea is also a kind of special life, and even the eternal master can't be destroyed. But can he swallow it? Master, I will try it. Yi Tian said. Next, you will stay in Wanyuan Mountain. I have informed your brothers and sisters, and when they arrive, I will hold an apprenticeship ceremony for you. Shixingzu said. Yes, Master, Yi Tian replied. Chapter 1853 Devouring the Black Sea of A Silence. Not long after that, the disciples of the 10 Elements ancestor came back. Of course, not all the disciples returned, and some were unable to return for the time being, but they also sent an avatar to participate in the 10 Line ancestors' acceptance ceremony. Therefore, this is considered to have gathered all the disciples. Of course, a named disciple like the Banya Master is not qualified to enter Wanyuan Mountain. Only 5 direct disciples and 33 formal disciples were able to enter Wanyuan Mountain. This day, the 10 Xingzu officially held the apprenticeship ceremony, and a direct disciple and an official disciple were present. At the apprenticeship ceremony, the ancestors of Shixing announced some rules, and then some procedures such as worshipping tea and worshipping teachers, etc., are not very complicated. After that, Shi Xingzu officially announced Yi Tian as his 5th direct disciple. Next, it was to introduce other disciples to Yi Tian. At the apprenticeship ceremony, Yi Tian got to know several brothers and other disciples. Senior brother Zhang Yu, 2nd senior brother Ji Yu Mo, 3rd senior brother Haixi, 4th senior sister Shui Nu. Among them, the most powerful is 3rd senior brother Haixi, followed by Ancient Demon, then Shui Nu, and senior brother Zhang Yu is the weakest. However, this weakness is also relatively speaking. Compared with other formal disciples, senior brother is still very strong. In addition, the senior brother is the first direct disciple of the 10 Elements ancestor, and his status is still very high, and everyone respects him very much. Afterwards, Yi Tian chatted with these senior brothers for a while and got to know each other. 5th junior brother, if you have time in the future, you can gather at our dojo. Several brothers and sisters said before they left. Must, Yi Tian replied. Not long after, Wanyuan Mountain became deserted again. And Yi Tian did not leave Wanyuan Mountain, he planned to stay in Wanyuan Mountain for a few more days. There is a library in Wanyuan Mountain, and the books in it are of great help to the Eternal Controller, and it is also of great help to him, so he will often browse the books in it to increase his knowledge and background. If he hadn't become a direct disciple of Shixing ancestor, he would not have been treated like this. Of course, becoming a direct disciple of Shixing ancestor has many advantages, such as being able to ask Shixing ancestor for advice at any time and listening to Shixing ancestor's sermons. Moreover, he can also obtain a high-ranking weapon to control the world soldier. The value of controlling a world soldier is very high, and his Baiji stick is just a top-notch lower-level control world soldier. This day, Shixing ancestor came to inform Yi Tian that the high-ranking soldiers he wanted to control had been refined. This upper-level control world soldier is refined according to Yi Tian's requirements. It is a domain-type control world soldier, which can accommodate 3,000 paths, creating an incomparably terrifying field and suppressing the powerful eternal controller. This high-ranking control soldier is called the Domain Pan. You can take it and refine it, it can greatly increase your strength. However, if you want to fully exert its power, you still have to wait until you enter the realm of eternal control. Said the 10 Elements ancestor. Thank you, Master, Yi Tian thanked. At this time, Shixing ancestor said again, bring the Baiji stick. Yi Tian took out the Baiji stick and gave it to Shixing ancestor. Shixing ancestor took it for a little refining, and soon handed it over to Yi Tian. I added several materials and re-refined it. It is now the median control soldier. Shixing ancestor said. Yi Tian held the 100 Realms stick again, and suddenly felt the 100 Realms stick's more powerful power than before. Thank you, Master, Yi Tian said excitedly. Afterwards, Shi Xingzu suggested, your current will is the late 8th order, you can go to the Tianlong Soul Tree in Wanyuan Mountain to cultivate for a period of time, which should be enough to raise your will to the 8th order peak state. As for the 9th order will, it is difficult to step into it, and when you step into the realm of the eternal controller, you will give another chance for the teacher. Yes, Yi Tian replied. Afterwards, he said goodbye and came to the Heavenly Dragon Soul Tree in Wanyuan Mountain. At this time, several formal disciples were cultivating here. They saw Yi Tian and respectfully said, I have seen senior brother Yi. Well, you cultivate, don't worry about me, Yi Tian said. Afterwards, he found a place and began to practice here. The heavenly dragon soul tree released a strange energy, tempering Yi Tian's will in a very gentle way, compressing his will. Under such circumstances, his will quickly increased. At this speed, at most tens of thousands of years, he can raise his will to the peak of the 8th order realm. However, after reaching the peak of the 8th rank, although the heavenly dragon soul tree is still important, it is too difficult to rely on the heavenly dragon soul tree to raise the will to the 9th rank. Ask for flowers. The other side. Void area. Yi Tian sent a duplicate body to go to the Black Sea of A silence outside the void area. This black silence sea has been attached to the void area for endless years, and the eternal controller cannot destroy it, so it is simply ignored. But this day, Yi Tian was going to attack it. Black every inside. Yi Tian stepped in. At this time, there were still several half-step eternal controller level Jhe beings in the Heiji Sea. They sensed Yi Tian's arrival and immediately wanted to expel Yi Tian. Die. Yi Tian stretched out the 100 realms stick and swung it casually. Bang bang bang. The life of the Jhe was blown up by Yi Tian and turned into a corpse floating in the Black Sea. 0. At this point, there is no Jhe life to disturb him. Black Silence Sea Center. Yi Tian is sitting here cross-legged. The purpose of his coming here is to swallow the Black Silence Sea. If other Eternal Masters heard that Yi Tian, the half-step Eternal Master, was going to swallow the Black Silence Sea, they would definitely not believe it, thinking that Yi Tian was bragging, but he could indeed do it. The life-swallowing technique he created can swallow powerful life into the body, occupying all the abilities of the opponent. Of course, the life-swallowing technique also has limitations. The life-swallowing technique he created can only swallow 3 lives at most. If there are more, it will not work. This is the limitation of the life-swallowing technique. In other words, the swallowing technique can only be performed 3 times. But this secret technique is too heaven-defying. Even Xixing Ancestor praised this secret technique, which shows its awesomeness. Then start to devour the Black Silence Sea. Once the swallowing is successful, I will undergo earth-shaking changes, completely surpassing the previous self, and at that time, I will be able to be promoted to the Eternal Controller with the most terrifying background. Yi Tian secretly said. Death swallowing. Following Yi Tian's life-swallowing technique, the Black Silence Sea was swallowed by Yi Tian little by little. He seems to have turned into a pole, and the Black Silence Sea is flowing backwards into the pole. At the beginning, Yi Tian devoured the Black Silence Sea very slowly, but as time passed, the devouring speed became faster and faster, and if viewed from a distance, the Black Silence Sea was shrinking. And this kind of movement naturally attracted the attention of the eternal controllers of the void area. Chapter 1854 Lessons from the Silver Devil Controller. Qinglian Controller. Silver Demon Master. Master of the Underworld. Old Man with White Beard. These eternal masters appear one by one, some are the body, some are the incarnation. It is about the Black Silence Sea, and they can't ignore it. If the Black Silence Sea invades the void area, then the void area will be troublesome. Last time, due to some negligence, Heiji drilled a hole in the void area, and finally several eternal controllers joined forces to seal the hole, preventing the invasion of Heiji. Such a thing must never happen again. When they came to the Black Sea of A silence, they saw an incredible scene. I saw that Heiji was pouring into Yi Tian's body. No, this is not pouring, but devouring. The Endless Lord. The white-bearded old man exclaimed. 9-2, he was shocked. The turmoil in the Black Silence Sea was actually caused by Yi Tian. The controller of Qinglian also knew Yi Tian, but at the moment they were extremely confused. Immediately, they entered the void area and asked about Yi Tian's body, but did not disturb Yi Tian in the Black Silence Sea. And Yi Tian also knew that the controller of Qinglian and the others were coming, and immediately showed up to meet them. I've seen you masters, Yi Tian said politely. Lord Endless, what is going on in the Black Sea? The Qinglian controller couldn't help but ask. Yi Tian said lightly, it's me who is cultivating a secret technique. Mystery. Although they guessed it, they didn't expect it to be the case. Moreover, what kind of secret technique can actually devour the Black Silence Sea? Even the Eternal Master can't do anything about the Black Silence Sea. Yi Tian is only half-step Eternal Master, but he did it. How amazing is this kind of secret technique? At this time, Yi Tian's body no longer had the imprint of Xixing Ancestor, because he was already a direct disciple of Xixing Ancestor, so the inheritance imprint on his body was naturally withdrawn. The Qinglian controller and the white-bearded old man knew that Yi Tian had a relationship with a great being and had obtained the inheritance of the other party, but they did not know that Yi Tian had successfully apprenticed. And some eternal controllers don't know Yi Tian's situation at all, they just think that Yi Tian is a very powerful half-step eternal controller, so they are confused. Endless Lord, it's too wasteful to put this kind of secret technique on your half-step eternal master, leave it to me. The Silver Demon controller ordered. Silver Demon, 1. The Underworld Master frowned and shouted. Why? I asked the half-step eternal controller for a secret technique, do you have to stop me? The Silver Demon controller said coldly. Just when the other eternal controllers were about to say something, Yi Tian said solemnly, Silver Demon controller, do you want to court death? What, you dare to talk to me like this? The Silver Demon Master was furious. What is he, the eternal controller? He is the object of worship of countless creatures in the Boundary River. There are several half-step eternal controllers under his command, and one hand can crush the half-step eternal controllers. Which half-step eternal controller is not respectful to see him? White Beard, you are not allowed to block it, and the others are not allowed to block it either. For the sake of being in the same void area, I won't kill him, but I have to teach him a lesson, then seal you for 100 million years. 1. The Silver Demon controller said arrogantly. Immediately. The two fought. The white-bearded old man opened his mouth, but still didn't make a move. First, he didn't want to offend the Silver Devil controller. Second, he felt that Yi Tian's strength was not necessarily weaker than the general eternal controller, and the Silver Devil controller's strength was not very strong. Of course, if Yi Tian really lost at the critical moment and was about to be sealed, he would still shoot. But he was quickly stunned, and so did the other eternal masters. The battle ended completely in an instant, and it ended with the fiasco of the Silver Demon Master. Roll. Yi Tian took out the 100 Realms stick and smashed it with 1,000 strikes. After being transformed by the 10 Elements ancestors, the 100 Realms stick has become the median player in control of the realm, and its power is terrifying. In addition, Yi Tian's current strength is much stronger than when he killed Wushan City Lord, so the Silver Devil controller is not his opponent at all. Boom! The Silver Demon controller was knocked flying by Yi Tian, his body pierced through layers of time and space, and was almost knocked out of the void area. At this moment, the Silver Demon controller was miserable, a piece of armor that controlled the world soldier on his body had been cracked, and his body had been annihilated by half. This kind of injury is already serious injury. The median control of the world soldier, how can you, a half-step eternal controller, have the median control of the world soldier? The Silver Demon controller was shocked and said. When he saw the armor from the sky world, his heart was very painful. The white-bearded old man was also shocked, but he knew Yi Tian's 100-realm cudgel. He was clearly the lower-ranked warrior in control before, although he was a top-ranked lower-ranked warrior, he was far from the middle-ranked warrior. Today, this low-ranking control world soldier suddenly turned into a middle-ranking control world soldier. Moreover, Yi Tian's strength is much stronger than he imagined. If you are not the eternal controller of the void area, you are dead now. Yi Tian coldly said to the Silver Devil controller. The Silver Devil's face changed many times, and finally bowed his head and apologized. Lord Endless, I'm sorry. There is no way, the strength is not as good as others, Yi Tian has not become the eternal controller, he is more powerful than him, if Yi Tian becomes the eternal controller, it will be too easy to kill him. The master of the underworld laughed loudly. Lord Endless, you are too powerful, even the Silver Devil is no match for you. With your strength, I am afraid that you can easily become the eternal master. If you have time, you can come to me. Be a guest. Must. Yi Tian nodded and said. Afterwards, the eternal controllers all left, and even the Qinglian controllers left. 5.8 The white-bearded old man stayed and chatted with Yi Tian for a long time, but he did not ask about the secret technique and why he wanted to devour the Black Silence Sea. He is not a fool. Naturally, this matter involves a lot of concealment, so if he cannot ask, he will not ask. After a long time, the white-bearded old man also left. In the following days, Yi Tian has been devouring the Black Silence Sea, making the Black Silence Sea smaller and smaller, and the Black Silence Sea has completely escaped from the void area. Under the rules of the void area, the previous hole has healed itself, and there is no need to start a world as a seal. Another long period of time has passed, and now Yi Tian has devoured 100 years of Jihai. No way, the Hei Jihai is too big, so it is quite laborious to swallow the Hei Jihai with Yi Tian's cultivation. Finally on this day, Yi Tian successfully swallowed the Black Silence Sea. Chapter 1855 finally broke through, the Eternal Master. Outside the void area, the Black Silence Sea has completely disappeared, and there is nothing here. The eternal masters of the void area saw that such a huge black and lonely sea was swallowed by Etienne, and they were all shocked. This is the black and lonely sea that even they can't do anything about, and it was so controlled by the half-step eternal master. Etienne solved it. Such a secret technique was so amazing that it broke their cognition. After Etienne devoured the black silent sea, he was comprehending the benefits obtained after consuming the black silent sea. The life-swallowing technique allowed him to devour the black silent sea, and also obtained part of the black silent sea's abilities. For example, his life level will gradually increase to the level close to the black silent sea, and his power will be as infinite as his black silent sea, and the endless battles will not exhaust his strength. Plus, he can neutralize enemy attacks. Just like the black silent sea, why it is difficult to be erased by the eternal master is because the attack of the eternal master falls in the black silent sea, it will be offset, plus the energy of the black silent sea is erased, and the black silence the sea will recover quickly again. This caused the eternal master to attack Heiji 29C for countless years, and he couldn't kill Heiji Hai. And although Etienne has not completely digested the ability to inherit Heiji Hai, but once he has completely digested it, standing there and letting the general eternal controller kill him, the eternal controller can't kill him. Life swallowing is too terrifying. Etienne muttered. In the days that followed, Etienne devoted all his strength to digesting the black silent sea. After all, Heiji Hai was only absorbed into the body by him now, and it had to be refined slowly, and this was still a long process. In the days that followed, Etienne devoted all his strength to refining the black silent sea. Time passed slowly, and in the blink of an eye, 60,000 years of the river passed. It is very worthwhile to spend such a long time refining the black silent sea. Now, Etienne has completely refined the black silent sea, and his life level has been raised to a level higher than that of a normal eternal controller. His physical body is dozens of times stronger than before. To know that his own physical body is already comparable to the eternal controller, and now it is dozens of times stronger, what a terrifying improvement. In addition, his will has been raised again. Originally, his will was raised to the peak of the 8th order realm, but now he has absorbed and refined the black silent sea, and has also improved his willpower, which has fully raised his willpower to the 8th order extreme. That is to say, once he breaks through to the realm of the eternal master, there is hope that his will be raised to the 9th level. Right now, Etienne's life level has been raised to the extreme, and his strength has also been raised to the extreme, almost impossible to advance. It's time to hit the realm of the eternal master. Etienne muttered. Void area. Etienne dismantled all the other cloned bodies, leaving only this cloned body as the main body to make breakthroughs. Because he knows that once he hits the realm of the eternal master, if other cloned bodies are not released, they will also fall into the situation of breaking through the eternal master at the same time. Instead, it is better to let this body break through with all my heart. Anyway, he has a 100% certainty to make a breakthrough. It stands to reason that Wanyuan Mountain is the safest place, but after all, he is alive in the eternal realm, and breaking through in the eternal realm is the best choice, and the success rate is also the highest. Source C. Etienne sat cross-legged and started to make breakthroughs here. Before the breakthrough, he also told the white-bearded old man that there was a white-bearded old man who would protect him. Etienne entered the intersection of the long river of time and the sky and sea, sat cross-legged here, and began to choose to break through to the realm of the eternal master. Soon, Etienne transcended the limitation of time and space, and crossed the realm of darkness. The next moment, he was in a space-time area, and the dense space-time threads locked him. He must break free of these time and space threads before he can completely break the bondage and be promoted to the realm of eternal master. Break. A space-time line was broken under the control of Etienne. He controlled 3000 Dao, and controlled 10% of the Supreme Legendary Body, and condensed the Supreme Control Body, and also created his own life-swallowing technique, devoured the Black Sea of A silence, and his physical body surpassed the Eternal Controller. With such a background, if he can't break through, who else can break through? Collapse, collapse, collapse. Time and space lines are broken, and the speed of breaking is too fast. At the beginning, the white-bearded old man was very reluctant to break through, but Etienne's breakthrough was too easy. In a short time, the space-time lines here broke to the extent that only two remained. One represents time and one represents space. Crash. Crash. The two silk threads were broken at the same time, and all the space-time threads were broken at this point. Breakthrough. Etienne muttered. At this time, the source energy of time and space from the outside continued to pour into his body, and the movement was too great. Whoa whoa whoa. One after another, the lords of the Peak Legend realm were attracted by the movement here in Yuanai, and they all guessed that Yi had broken through to the realm of the Eternal Master. The Endless Lord actually broke through to the realm of the Eternal Master. Compared with him, I am too far behind. The Border Lord murmured. Although he has also broken through to the 4th level Peak Legendary Realm Lord, he is still relatively weak among the 4th level Peak Legendary Realm Lord, although he is also qualified to attack the Eternal Master. But he knew very well that if he really attacked, he would definitely die. Boom! An Eternal Controller appeared, wearing a long Xingyi dress. She was a peerless beauty. Seeing this, several Peak Legend Lords of Qinglian Holy Land immediately respectfully said, Qinglian Holy Master. Being called Qinglian Holy Master by the people of Qinglian Holy Land, its identity is self-evident. Eternal Controller, Qinglian Controller. Meet the Master of Qinglian. The Lords of the Peak Legends said respectfully. In the next moment, another Eternal Master appeared. Master of the Underworld, 920. One after another, the Eternal Controllers appeared, and they all came to the Source Sea. When Yi Tian walked out from the intersection of time and space, these Eternal Controllers saw the surging energy in Yi Tian, and they were shocked. They knew that Yi Tian's strength far surpassed him, reaching a level that was difficult for them to reach in their entire lives. Congratulations to the Endless Master. Congratulations to the Endless Master. 1. Congratulations to the Endless Master. One after another, the Eternal Masters congratulated in unison. At this moment, the Peak Legend Realm Lords who were watching were dumbfounded. What kind of arrangement is this? When the white-bearded old man broke through to the Eternal Controller, there was no Eternal Controller to congratulate him, but now that Yi Tian has broken through, there are so many Eternal Controllers. What does this mean? They are somewhat enlightened. That is, Yi Tian is awesome. I am afraid that it is even more powerful than the white-bearded old man. Another Eternal Controller appeared, the Silver Devil Controller. He glanced at Yi Tian, and he was immediately terrified. He seemed to think that Yi Tian at this time could crush him to death. Endless Controller, I'm sorry, I was reckless before. This is my little intention, please accept it with a smile. The Silver Devil Controller presented a great gift, which was of great value and was enough to make him feel pain. However, in order to ease the relationship with Yi Tian, he had to do this. In the distance, the Lords of the Peak Legend Realm were simply stunned. Chapter 1856 The Division of Eternal Masters. The Silver Demon Controller apologized to the Endless Controller and gave gifts. Many Peak Legend Realm Lords think all this is too dreamy. Stuff stays, people get out. Yi Tian said coldly. Yes. The Silver Demon Controller left the thing behind, and the person ran away. Although Yi Tian's attitude is not good, but he has given gifts, at least he will not attack him, this matter is really over. Everyone please. Yi Tian changed his smile and greeted the Qinglian Controller and the White-Beard Controller as they entered his human territory as guests, and the Peak Legend Realm Lords were also invited. For a time, the human race territory became extremely lively. After a period of time, after the Eternal Masters have all left, Yi Tian is going to test whether his copying body ability can be used again. If it can be used again, it will be terrifying. After all, the other Eternal Controllers only have one body, and he has more than one, and the advantage is too great. Copy. Yi Tian urged the duplication talent to start duplicating his own body. Copyable. Yi Tian was overjoyed. However, the replication speed is a bit slow and consumes a lot of energy. Yi Tian took out each piece of resource treasure to speed up the duplication process, and it still took nearly a tenth of a year to completely duplicate the duplicating body. Just when Yi Tian wanted to copy the second body, he found that it couldn't be copied. It seems that only one body can be copied, but this can be considered to have broken the rules of Jihei, which is already very good. Yi Tian thought to himself. Moreover, he can incarnate billions of millions in one thought, and each clone has the cultivation of the 5th level Peak Legend Realm Lord. Therefore, it is very convenient to do things at ordinary times. We have to go to Wanyuan Mountain. Yi Tian then tore apart time and space and came to Wanyuan Mountain. You can enter Wanyuan Mountain at any time, which is also the treatment of being a direct disciple of the 10 Elements ancestor. Wanyuan Mountain. Yi Tian specially came to see the Master, because the Master said that when he broke through to the realm of the Eternal Controller, he would be given a big chance, so he came to ask for a big chance. Master. Yi Tian saw the 10 Elements ancestor and bowed respectfully. Xixing ancestor glanced at Yi Tian and nodded slightly, it's very good. With the most perfect foundation, you have been promoted to the realm of the Eternal Controller, and your will has also reached the early stage of the 9th order. With your current strength, you have reached the 6th level combat power. 6th domain level. Yi Tian didn't know much about the power division of the Eternal Controller level, because he didn't ask too much about the Eternal Controller level before. After all, he didn't break through to the Eternal Controller level, and knowing too much would only distract him. But now, he is qualified to know. So, Yi Tian asked, Master, how is the realm of the Eternal Controller specifically divided? Shi Xingzu smiled and said, there is no specific realm division for the Eternal Controller, because the Eternal Controller itself is a realm, but according to the strength, it can be divided into 1 domain level combat power to 10 domain level combat power. Above the level of combat power, it is also called the 1st level, the 2nd level, and the 10th level. The 10th level is the peak state, and it is also the theoretical limit that the Eternal Controller can reach. What about Master? Yi Tian was curious. Me, Shi Xingzu said indifferently. I surpassed the 10 realms of combat power, but I did not step into the next realm, because the known realm is the Eternal Controller, and there is no way to go up, and now it is like me there are also a few such strong men. We can't create the next realm, so we like to recruit geniuses, hoping to cultivate an existence who can break the path and create a new realm. I see, Yi Tian secretly said. Afterwards, Shi Xing ancestor told Yi Tian how to continue to practice in the Eternal Master. One is to improve the willpower, such as Yi Tian's will at the early stage of the 9th order, so he can continue to improve his will. The second is to create the origin control technique. The origin control technique is a move that surpasses the top space-time control technique. Once an origin control technique is created, the strength will reach a very powerful level. The third is to strengthen the body of the controller of the Eternal Controller. The physical body is strong, and the strength will be extremely powerful. At the level of the Eternal Controller, the body of control can be divided into 10 levels, and most of the physical body of the Eternal Controller is only the 1st level control body, and there is no chance to continue to improve, and you have swallowed the Black Silence Sea, and the level of life is too high. As soon as you break through to the Eternal Master, your body of control will reach the 4th level. The physical life level is the foundation. The better the foundation, the easier it is to improve the physical strength. The 4th is to improve the power of control. This is also the only way that many Eternal Masters who have just broken through can improve. However, the increase in strength that can be obtained by improving the power of control is very limited. The first 3 methods are really able to increase their strength. Thank you Master for your guidance. Yi Tian said gratefully. Unexpected, Shi Xing ancestor smiled and said, you are here to ask for a big chance. I promised you for the Master, and after you break through, I will give you a big chance, and I will give it to you now. Yi Tian was overjoyed and waited quietly. I saw Shi Xing ancestor gave Yi Tian a map with a location marked on it. This is the Black Thunder Valley of No. 13 Jhe. The Black Thunder Valley is very dangerous, but inside it grows the fruit of Xuanlei Golden Body. This kind of fruit takes 33 million Jhe years to grow into. Xuanlei Gold the body fruit is very helpful to your body of control. Under normal circumstances, an Eternal Controller can only refine 1, and your life level is very high, and you can refine a lot of Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit. If you get enough Mysterious Thunder Golden Body Fruit is enough to raise the body in control from level 4 to level 5, and the strength will skyrocket. The Black Valley of Mysterious Thunder is located in a promised special time and space, and it is impossible to enter under normal circumstances, but you can go in with the Profound Thunder Seal in hand. As a teacher, I will give you a Profound Thunder Seal, and then you can go to the Profound Thunder Black Valley. Saying that, he threw a Profound Thunder Seal. Thank you for your purchase. Yi Tian had the Zan Lei Yin and the map. Okay, let's go, the road in the future still depends on yourself. I can only give you a little bit of advice from time to time, so that you don't take detours, that's all. If you pave the way for the future for you, you will not be able to walk out of your own path, and you will not be able to break the shackles in the future, surpassing the combat power of the Masters of the 10 Realms. Shi Xing ancestor said lightly. Yi Tian understood, just let him cultivate on his own, the benefits given by the Master are so many, don't keep thinking about finding him for a chance. Disciple back down, Yi Tian left Wanyuan Mountain and immediately headed to the Black Thunder Valley according to the location on the map. Chapter 1857 Snatching the Golden Body Fruit of Xuanlei. After becoming the Eternal Controller, Yi Tian's speed on the road was very fast. He kept on shuttle, and soon came to the Boundary River area where Xuanlei Black Valley was located. At this time, he took out the Profound Thunder seal and sensed the location of the Profound Thunder Black Valley. Immediately, as soon as Zon Lei Yin was activated, Yi Tian's body was brought into Zon Lei Black Valley by Zon Lei Yin. Zon Lei Black Valley. Yi Tian came in and stood at the entrance of Xuanlei Black Valley. From the outside, the entire Xuanlei Black Valley is pitch black, like a huge mouth of the abyss, and it is difficult for even the Eternal Controller to spy on the situation of the Xuanlei Black Valley. From time to time, the sound of thunder could be heard from the depths of the Xuanlei Black Valley. Yi Tian stepped into the Xuanlei Black Valley and began to look for the Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit. The mysterious lightning golden body fruit needs 33 million boundary years to grow into it. After such a long time, the mysterious lightning golden body fruit here is afraid that it will be taken away by other eternal masters once it grows. Although there are very few eternal masters who can enter the Black Valley of Xuanlei, it is not easy for him to obtain the golden body fruit of Xuanlei, and he may have to fight with other eternal masters. With his current strength, he is not afraid of other eternal masters. For example, he can be regarded as a 920 level 6 domain controller, and the general eternal controller is only a first level controller, and his strength is far inferior to him. The Xuanhai Thunder Valley is very large. Yi Tian has searched for a long time, but has not seen the end of the Xuanhai Valley. This day, he finally found the trace of the Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit. On the dark earth, there was a giant tree. There were 6 Xuanlei Golden Body Fruits growing on this giant tree. The fruit revealed, tearing apart the darkness of the Xuanlei Black Valley. There is no doubt that this must be the Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit tree. However, none of these 6 mysterious Thunder Golden Body Fruits are mature. Except for one mysterious Thunder Golden Body Fruit that only takes 3,000 years to grow into, the other 5 mysterious Thunder Golden Body Fruits will take a long time to grow, fully grown. However, there is an eternal controller sitting cross-legged under this Xuanlei Golden Body tree. This eternal controller is afraid that he has been guarding here for countless years. When Yi Tian approached here, the other party opened his eyes. This Xuanlei Golden Body tree belongs to me. The strong hostility spread out from the opponent's body. It seems that as long as Yi Tian gets closer, he will start. Yi Tian doesn't care about the opponent's strength. This eternal controller seems to be only a second-level controller. However, Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit has not yet fully grown, so there is no need to fight with it at this time. After a few thousand years, come back at that time. It's okay to offend other eternal masters for the sake of resources. In short, whoever has the strength can snatch the resources, that's the truth. Afterwards, Yi Tian left and went to look elsewhere. Along the way, the mysterious lightning golden body tree he found was occupied by the eternal controller. Master, I still have to snatch this great opportunity that you have given me. Yi Tian said helplessly. However, if it weren't for the master, he wouldn't be able to come here, so this is a big chance. In short, the more powerful he is, the more benefits he can get naturally. This day, Yi Tian found a mysterious lightning golden body tree with only 3 mysterious lightning golden body fruits, but there are eternal controllers squatting nearby, and the one occupying the mysterious lightning golden body tree is a domain level controller. The other party is very nervous at this time. It's being watched here, Yi Tian noticed. He found that one of the mysterious lightning golden body fruits will only fully grow into 1/10 of the Jihei year. It is precisely because of this that there are so many eternal controllers squatting here. Once this mysterious lightning golden body fruit grows, there will be many fights. Everyone, give me a face, give me this mysterious lightning golden body fruit. I will take this mysterious lightning golden body fruit and leave, and the remaining 2 will not compete with you. The crane controller said. He knows that his strength is very weak, and he may not be able to keep this mysterious golden body fruit, but he doesn't want to give up. He has been guarding here for a long time, just for this mysterious golden body fruit. CJFI, if he has this mysterious golden body fruit, he may even hope to complete the breakthrough of the body of control, thereby raising the combat power to the level of the second-level controller, and the strength will not be at the bottom of the controller. He finally got the chance to enter the Black Valley of Profound Thunder, so he didn't want to give up. But the eternal controllers staring around here, many are stronger than him, and once they fight, he is even in danger of falling. How to choose? Whether it is to retreat immediately to save his life, or to fight desperately, he occupies a favorable place, and other eternal controllers are restrained by each other, so there is not necessarily a great chance for him to seize the golden body fruit of Xuanlei. At the moment when Xuanlei Golden Body Fruit has fully grown, his hopes are still very high. Bet, the real crane controller decided that if he didn't leave, he must snatch the golden body fruit of Zhonglei. Time passed slowly, and more eternal masters gathered here. Finally, on this day, this mysterious lightning golden body fruit was about to fully grow, and the atmosphere became tense. Just when the Xuanlei golden body fruit was about to be born, the real crane controller made a move, that is, to instantly speed up the time, that is, to accelerate the growth of the Xuanlei golden body fruit and let it grow in advance. Go. Buzzing. The speed of the eternal controller was very fast, and just when the true crane controller was about to take away this golden thunder fruit, a few attacks came, directly knocking it flying, tearing his body apart instantly, letting him severely injured. This Xuanlei golden body fruit is true. Come on, don't fight with me. At the same time, these eternal controllers all grabbed the Xuanlei golden body fruit. And at this time, Yi Tian shot. Roll. Yi Tian performed 1,000 killings and danced the 100 realms into a stick shadow, knocking the eternal masters into the air. But he kept his hands and did not kill them. After all, every eternal controller has an unusual origin. If there is a backstage, killing them will undoubtedly create an enemy for himself. Although he has 10 Qing ancestors as his backing, there is no need to deliberately make enemies. Bang bang bang. Many eternal masters were hit by Yi Tian one by one, and they were severely injured, unable to snatch them. And this mysterious lightning golden body fruit fell into Yi Tian's hands logically, and he picked it off and put it away. 6 domain level controller. They were all shocked, and the powerhouses even came running. Many powerhouses have taken the mysterious lightning golden body fruit, some of them can only refine 2 of them to death, and they cannot continue refining in the later stage, so there is no need to snatch the mysterious lightning golden body fruit. Therefore, in the Black Valley of Xuanlei, there are still very few eternal controllers above the 6th domain level. Moreover, the 6th domain level eternal controller will occupy a huge mysterious lightning golden body tree, and others will not dare to snatch it. They can just guard it. It is not worthwhile to be robbed by other equal powerhouses. Unfortunately, I encountered such a strong person, very unfamiliar, it should have just come in. These eternal masters gave up and retreated one by one. Chapter 1858 8 Domain Level Controllers, Swallow Fire. With the strength of Yi Tian's 6 domain level controllers, they would not dare to snatch this mysterious lightning golden body fruit with Yi Tian, a euro that would be courting death. Among the eternal masters, the strength is much worse for every domain level difference. The 6 domain level controller can even kill the weaker 4 domain level controller, and killing them can achieve instant kills. Soon, these eternal masters and controllers were gone. Yi Tian didn't leave, but sat cross-legged here and started refining the mysterious lightning golden body fruit. He wanted to see what the effect of this mysterious lightning golden body fruit was. Boom! Swallowing it in one bite, the energy of the Xuanlei golden body fruit emerged, tempering his body of control. You must know how powerful Yi Tian's life level is, and the body of control has reached the 4th level, so it is very difficult to improve the body of control. Even if you want to improve a little, it will take a long time. However, this time, after refining this mysterious lightning golden body fruit, his body under control was making rapid progress. What a powerful effect! No wonder these eternal controllers are crazy, desperately trying to snatch the mysterious lightning golden body fruit. Yi Tian murmured. It's a pity that only this grown mysterious lightning golden body fruit can't help Yi Tian to raise the control body from the 4th level to the 5th level. After a period of time, Yi Tian has completely refined the mysterious lightning golden body fruit. According to his estimation, if he wants to raise the control body from the 4th level to the 5th level, he needs at least more than 20 mysterious lightning golden body fruits. This is also due to his high level of life. He has almost completely used the golden body fruit of Xuanlei, and it is easier to improve it. If it is replaced by someone else, I am afraid that he will have 100 or so golden body fruit before he can hope to get it. The body of control has been raised from level 4 to level 5. Look for other Xuanlei golden body fruits. Yi Tian left and went to other places. As for this Xuanlei golden body tree, he has no interest in guarding it, it would take too long to wait, and he has no patience to wait. In the years that followed, Yi Tian kept looking for the Xuanlei golden body tree in the Xuanlei Black Valley, but he secretly memorized all the Xuanlei golden body fruits that had not really grown for a long time. Snatch again. Before you know it, the 10,000 world river years have passed. During these years, Yi Tian robbed a total of 8 mysterious lightning golden body fruits, and his actions also angered many people. Because, the general eternal controller won't snatch at most 1 or 2, after all, no matter how much snatch, there is no way to refine it. The Xuanlei golden body fruit is a chance for the eternal master, and many strong people will not go too far. But Yi Tian, a euro in these years, he has robbed 8 mysterious lightning golden body fruits, and it seems that he will continue to snatch them, which is undoubtedly too much. This day, some eternal masters are negotiating to deal with Yi Tian. Everyone, the endless controller is a bit too much, we should teach him a lesson. We are not his opponents, how can we teach him a lesson? Xuanlei Haigu has the rules of the Xuanlei Haigu, and it is really inappropriate for him to do so. If he occupies a Xuanlei golden body tree, even if he announces all the Xuanlei golden body fruits on the Xuanlei golden body tree, it belongs to him, we don't have any opinion. As long as he has the patience to guard it, it doesn't matter if we give it to him. But now, he is relying on his strength to snatch the golden body fruit of Xuanlei that has just grown, and we are protecting him. Mysterious thunder golden body fruit. Therefore, I want to find a number of eternal controllers above the 6th domain level to teach him a lesson. Who to look for? I'm not familiar with such an eternal master. 1. Look for Guluo's controller, he is a 6th domain level eternal controller, and his strength should not be lower than the endless controller. 1 is not enough, there are Tianqin controllers, Haiyu controllers, they are also 6th domain level controllers. Hey, I know a stronger being, with a good temper, I can ask him for help. 1. Who? The 8th level controller, the fire devouring controller. The one who swallows the fire turns out to be this one. If he makes a move, I'm afraid he can easily crush the endless controller. So let's go and invite them. 1. Immediately, these eternal masters went to ask for help. After all, the relationship is good, and Yi Tian did this, they did not have the opportunity to obtain the golden body fruit of Xuanlei. Under the request, those eternal controllers above the 6th domain level will come to negotiate 1 or 2 even if they do not fight against Yi Tian. Soon, some 6th domain level eternal controllers agreed. What made them even more excited was that the fire-devouring controller also agreed. Somewhere in the Black Valley of Xuanlei, Yi Tian came to the vicinity of a Xuanlei golden body tree, where a Xuanlei golden body fruit was about to mature. Therefore, he is here waiting. Suddenly, the void distorted, and a figure came out. Ask for flowers. 6th domain level controller. Yi Tian sensed that the opponent's strength was not weaker than himself, so he looked over. I have seen the Guluo controller. Some eternal masters who knew the Guru master greeted them one after another. Ji Luo nodded slightly and immediately looked at Yi Tian. Endless master, I heard that you have recently robbed a lot of eternal masters' mysterious lightning golden body fruit. Ji Luo asked. Yi Tian frowned and said, yes, what's the problem? I'm not the only one doing this, other eternal controllers are also fighting for it. I'm just stronger and I've just grabbed it. Ji Luo sighed. The endless controller, why bother, the Xuanlei golden body fruit can only be refined a few, and it is useless to refine too much, why compete with these weak controllers? Give me a face, just quit now. 0. What if I refuse? Yi Tian said coldly. Buzzing. 3 6th level controllers appeared again, namely Tianqin controller, Haiyu controller, and Lixing controller. All of a sudden, the 4 major 6th level controllers appeared, and they appeared to be surrounded. Immediately, those weak eternal controllers retreated one after another, ready to watch the fun. Are you going to fight with me? Yi Tian said with a smile. Don't dare, just discuss 1 or 2 things. If the Endless Lord agrees to my suggestion, we can have a good time and become friends. Ji Luo controller said. Sorry, I refuse. Yi Tian said coldly. The life level of these 6 domain level controllers is not high, and they cannot absorb a few Xuanlei golden body fruit, so they will not be extremely eager for Xuanlei golden body fruit, so they are willing to be good people. However, he is different. He can refine a lot of Xuanlei golden body fruit, and naturally he is unwilling to let go. When he can no longer refine the mysterious lightning golden body fruit, he will naturally not snatch it. But now, he will not give up the Xuanlei golden body fruit. Boom, an extremely terrifying aura distorted the time and space, and another figure emerged. The Fire Eater is here. This is the 8th domain level controller. The 4 6th domain level controllers saw the Fire Devouring controller coming, and they respectfully said, I have seen the Fire Devouring controller. Yi Tian also looked over, but there was a hint of surprise on his face. And the other party also looked at Yi Tian, a euro and was immediately shocked. Chapter 1859 It and #039, Essay Mistake to blame the master, this is the real big chance. The Fire Devouring controller stared at Yi Tian and knew Yi Tian's identity at a glance. As the eternal controller, there is a natural feeling in the dark. And he also heard that Xixing ancestor recently accepted a direct disciple. If there is no accident, it is Yi Tian. The fire-devouring controller is the one who broke the rules of Xuanlei Haigu, and he is going to teach him a lesson. Ji Yu Luo controller suggested. However, the fire-swallowing master ignored Ji Yu Luo's master, but walked up to Yi Tian. A euro bent over and respectfully said, "I have seen senior brother." In the Wanyuan mountain lineage, formal disciples must call senior disciples when they see their direct disciples, and when named disciples see formal disciples and direct descendants, they naturally also call senior disciples. Even if he is the 8th domain level controller, Yi Tian is only the 6th domain level controller, the same is true. He didn't dare to be disrespectful to Yi Tian. Junior brother swallowing fire, 920, doesn't have to be so polite. Yi Tian said lightly. Brother. Many eternal controllers were stunned. The endless controller turned out to be the brother of the fire-eating controller, and looking at the fire-eating controller, it seemed that he was very respectful to the eternal controller. It is rumored that the fire-devouring master is the registered disciple of the 10 Elements ancestor. Although it has not been confirmed, it is very likely. Then, the endless controller is also a disciple of the 10 Elements ancestor, and he is not a named disciple, but an official disciple or a direct disciple, otherwise the fire-devouring controller would not be so respectful. At this point, they were completely dumbfounded. I thought that the fire-devouring controller was coming, and it was their backer, but it turned out to be the backing of the endless controller. Everyone, I still have something to do, so I'll go first. The Guluo controller directly shuttled away. Immediately, the other controllers also fled one by one. How dare they besiege Yi Tian, a euro that is courting death. In a short time, the eternal masters here are gone. Senior brother, this is a small misunderstanding, so don't bother with them. If you have time, you can come to my fire-swallowing city as a guest. The fire eater said. Yi Tian nodded slightly. Okay. Afterwards, the fire-devouring master chatted with Yi Tian for a few words, and then left. Although the two are senior brothers, the fire-swallowing master and Yi Tian are not familiar with each other after all, and they are only registered disciples of the 10 Elements ancestors, so they are not qualified to compare with Yi Tian. Don't look at Yi Tian's current cultivation base as weak, but it won't take too long, his strength will surpass that of the Fire Eater controller. In the following years, Yi Tian almost walked sideways. Even if many people didn't know his identity, after talking about other eternal controllers, they knew that he was related to the fire-devouring controller and belonged to the fire-devouring controller. Senior brother, and he is also a 6th domain level combat power, who dares to provoke Yi Tian. As time passed slowly, Yi Tian grabbed one after another of the golden body fruits of Xuanlei. Finally, on this day, after Yi Tian refined another mysterious lightning golden body fruit, the body in control completed a breakthrough. Boom! The body of control has been continuously transformed and promoted, from the body of control at the 4th level to the body of control at the 5th level, and the body has become extremely powerful. And with the breakthrough of the body in control, his strength has also completed the transformation. I should be the 7 domain level controller now. Yi Tian muttered. The 7th level controller is already very ill-fated, and even if he encounters the 8th level controller, he can still escape if he fails to fight. In the number 13 boundary river, the 7 domain level controllers are definitely at the top level. As far as he knows, the Qinglian controller is very powerful, but it is only a 5 domain level controller. The body of control has been upgraded to level 5, plus it has absorbed enough profound lightning golden body fruit, although it can continue to absorb, but the role of the mysterious lightning golden body fruit is just that. Yi Tian was about to leave. After all, it would be meaningless to stay in the Xuanlei Black Valley. So, he urged Xuanlei in to prepare to go out. However, as soon as the profound thunder seal was activated, he felt that something was wrong. This was not a passage from the profound thunder Black Valley to the outside world, but to a certain space-time area in the deepest part of the profound thunder Dark Valley. Yi Tian's figure disappeared, and the time-space distortion fluctuations left behind also recovered quickly. A land of thunder, Yi Tian appeared here. At this moment, he was a little stunned, but he quickly reacted. It turns out that the so-called big chance is not the golden body fruit of Xuanlei in the Black Valley of Xuanlei. Master didn't even say it. I thought the chance was really the golden body fruit of Xuanlei. But think about it, Xuanlei is right. Many eternal controllers in Haigu can come here. As a task like a master, what is the golden body fruit of Xuanlei? The real big chance is hidden behind. Yi Tian is looking forward to this great opportunity. He walked on this piece of Li's land, and soon discovered an invisible life of thunder, which seemed to have no intelligence, wandering here. Yi Tian spied on it with the copy talent, but did not perceive any of its talent. Immediately, he reached out and grabbed it, directly grabbing this special life in his hand. Next moment, this special life released a special thunderbolt, and this thunderbolt ignored his defense and struck directly on his will. Yi Tian's will was hacked like this, and he immediately felt a burst of pain. But soon, he found that his will condensed a little. This is euro. Yi Tian finally knew that this special fate could increase his willpower. However, after this little guy hacked him, he slumped. Yi Tian didn't say a word, and directly swallowed the secret of swallowing in one bite. Then, a strange thunder force entered Yi Tian's will, constantly smashing his will. As time passed, Yi Tian's willpower continued to improve. After a while, strange thunder's power was exhausted. So, Yi Tian continued to look for other such thunder life. There are still a lot of such thunder life here, and the strength is not strong, and it is at the level of the Lord of the Peak Legend realm, and it is easy to catch. As each and every thunder special life was swallowed 5.8 times by Yi Tian, his willpower became stronger and stronger. Until a certain day, Yi Tian's eternal will broke through from the early stage of the ninth order to the middle stage of the ninth order. At this time, his eternal will is much stronger than in the past, and his strength is naturally greatly improved. But after reaching the eternal will in the middle stage of the ninth order, this special life is of little value to him. Immediately, Yi Tian collected a lot of this kind of thunder special life and wanted to take them away. However, when Yi Tian used the Zan Lei Yin to leave, all these special thunderbolts disappeared. Boundary River. Yi Tian appeared here, and his face was full of loss and regret. It seems that I can't take away those special lives of thunder. And at this moment, the profound thunder seal on his hand was completely shattered, which meant that the great opportunity this time was really gone. Chapter 1860 The Special Life Beyond the Black Sea, the Mountain of Devouring. Wanyuan Mountain. A copy of Yi Tian's body came here, and the cultivation environment here is very good, so one of his body can cultivate here for a long time, and the other body is naturally the source sea that has been sitting in the void area, and will not leave. Moreover, there are many treasures in Wanyuan Mountain, so he naturally wants to practice retreat here. At this time, his eternal will has been raised to the mid-ninth order realm, and his will has improved, and his strength has naturally improved. However, he has only broken through to the realm of the Eternal Master, so it is time to improve the power of control. Improving the power of control can also improve the strength. Therefore, he plans to retreat for a long time to improve his control. Originally, he retreated earlier, but Shi Xing ancestor gave him a great opportunity, and he naturally went to the Black Valley of Xuanlei. Now, after returning from the Black Valley of Mysterious Thunder, he naturally has to retreat and practice. Wanyuan Mountain. Yi Tian retreated and practiced here, and long years passed. 29 Gradually, Yi Tian's power of control became stronger and stronger, and his strength also improved little by little. 10,000 World River Years. 100,000 World River Year. Unknowingly, Yi Tian practiced for 300,000 years in Wanyuan Mountain. At this time, his power of control has improved a lot, and his strength has naturally improved a lot. My current strength should not be far from the 8th-level controller, and I can be regarded as the top 7th-level controller. Yi Tian muttered. The increase in strength brought by the improvement of the power of control is not too large. If you want to increase the strength, you have to improve the body of control. And improving the body of control is very difficult. It's time to find the second kind of special life and practice the life-swallowing technique. Yi Tian secretly said. The life-swallowing technique he created can devour 3 special lives. He has devoured the Black Silence Sea and gained huge benefits. The life level has been improved too much, otherwise it would be impossible to reach the 7-domain level battle so quickly now. Force. And the second kind of special life must be chosen well, at least not lower than the Black Sea of a silence. Of course, he will not devour the Black Silence Sea again, then it is meaningless, it must be another special life, in order to obtain more benefits. So, he began to search various classics in Wanyuan Mountain, looking for the information of various life. Wanyuan Mountain Library. Yi Tian searched for it, and suddenly found a kind of information that introduced all kinds of special beings comparable to the Eternal Masters. And above it is the Black Sea of a silence. Black Silence Sea is only ranked 6th in this information. Yi Tian was surprised. Ranked 5th is a special life called the Dark Territory Snake, but it is very rare. The key is that the intelligence is still very high, not slow like the Heiji High, and has no intelligence and follows instinct. Therefore, every dark domain snake is very terrifying, and it may even reach the strength of a world-level controller. The Dark Territory Snake is too powerful. Even if it encounters it, I am afraid that it will not be able to defeat it, and it is not a suitable target. Yi Tian muttered. Therefore, he gave up the plan to devour the snake in the dark area, and maybe when he becomes stronger in the future, he can use the snake in the dark area as the third target. And in third place is a special life called the Shadowless Dragon. The realm below the Eternal Controller can't see it at all, and there is only one Shadowless Dragon recorded so far, which was taken away as a pet by a great existence. It seems that there is no way to devour the Shadowless Dragon. That great existence may be a powerhouse comparable to the Master. I dare not attack it. Yi Tian also gave up the Shadowless Dragon. And the special life ranked first, there is no name on it. It is a special life that cannot record its name. The paper used in this book can record all information and secret techniques. I didn't expect that even the name of that life could not be recorded. Obviously, that life is extremely terrifying. He didn't even know his name, so naturally he couldn't make up his mind. Hey, this life ranked second, maybe there is really hope to get it. 1. Yi Tian said with anticipation. The special life ranked second is called the Mountain of Devouring. The reason why it ranks second is that even the strong dare not attack it. Once attacked, the power will be swallowed by it and help it grow. Even if its strength is many times stronger than it cannot kill it, and it is very vengeful. There is a case recorded in this book. There was once a realm-level controller who wanted to erase the weak Mountain of Devouring. As a result, the Mountain of Devouring continued to devour power, and finally consumed the realm-level controller to death. However, if there is no power supply, the strength of the Devouring Mountain will slowly decline, and finally it will only be comparable to the realm of ordinary Eternal Masters. Otherwise, it would not be second, but first. Wouldn't it be terrifying if I swallowed the Mountain of Devouring and gained some of its abilities? Yi Tian was moved. Immediately, he began to investigate the news of the Devouring Mountain. There are also some disciples in Wanyuan Mountain, and Yi Tian also consulted them. This day, Yi Tian learned some information about the Mountain of Devouring from an official disciple. This official disciple, called Yanyuan, is a second realm level controller, and his strength is naturally far beyond Yi Tian, but he is still very respectful to Yi Tian. Senior brother Yi, the Mountain of Devouring, I have heard about 937. It is said that the number 7 boundary river appeared once. The Mountain of Devouring can move and travel through time and space. It's not easy to find. I didn't pay much attention to this matter. Go to know. 7 boundary river to look for it. Flame Source said. Former apprentice. Quote, semicolon. Yi Tian thanked. Senior brother, you're welcome, I haven't been of any help. Yan Yuan hurriedly said. Afterwards, Yi Tian's duplicate body left Wanyuan Mountain and headed to the No. 7 Jihei. Origin Virtual Circle. Yi Tian tore the barrier between the No. 13 Boundary River and the Origin Imagination Circle, entered here, and then went to the No. 7 Boundary River through the Origin Illusory Circle. In the past, he also needed the help of the white-bearded old man, but now he can easily step into this place. Soon, Yi Tian came to the barrier between the Origin Virtual Circle and the 7th Boundary River. The Boundary River barrier was torn apart by Yi Tian, and he entered the 7th Boundary River alone. And just entering the 7th Realm River, the will of the Eternal Controller came from one after another. When they sensed Yi Tian's aura of a 7-domain level controller, they immediately withdrew their will one by one. 7-domain level controllers, they can't afford to offend them. And Yi Tian shuttled away and officially went deep into the 7th Realm River.